The old smack.
Damn.
Stu, how you going?
Good, how are you?
I think you're the only guest I've probably actually felt like I've annoyed to come on the podcast.
It's alright, mate. I don't mind. It's not annoying.
You're just a really busy man.
Busy. Yeah,
very
busy.
busy man.
Plus, I like my downtime.
You do?
Yeah.
Obviously, you would enjoy your downtime.
Yeah.
6 months booked out.
At the moment.
How the fuck do you manage that? So hard tattooing out there in these streets these days, I hear.
Easy.
It's just having a good being good at a niche.
I've been tattooing a while now, so you get to know how to work things. How to run your books.
Do you ever deviate out of the traditional Japanese sphere? Do you ever do anything else?
I used to do a lot of neo-trad. I still got one or two clients that still get that stuff.
They kind of lend to each other pretty well, don't they?
Not really. It's real different.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just the way you
Placement
draw
wise
and placement, yeah, the way you design is completely different.
Who did your
Maddie Mooney from Victoria.
And you started in the UK?
Yep. Started tattooing in the UK.
No shit.
Did my apprenticeship over there.
Was it... Why the UK?
I moved back there when I was 16 because I was a bit of a naughty boy.
Naughty boy.
Here. Yeah. Doing a bit of graph. Getting caught.
Really?
Yeah. And then it was always something I wanted to get into, so when I started, it was a lot harder to find an apprenticeship. So took me a couple of years to get going, and then finally found one when I was about 22.
Oh, so the thing with tattooing is a lot of people find it later in life. 22 is pretty young.
I wish I got into it earlier.
Yeah, but no, it's only now I really see 18, 19-year-olds starting tattooing. A lot of people, when I was getting tattooed heavily, were had complete other lifestyles or jobs, and they were obviously artistic, and then they kind of fell into tattooing when they were 26, 27, 28. That was pretty normal.
It's good, I think, getting into it that late because you're more mature.
That's the other thing, the lifestyle for a young person.
Yeah.
If you're good and you're getting such an influx, because you are earning good money if you're a good tattooist, it can be probably overwhelming.
It's pretty rock star.
Yeah, rock star lifestyle.
People take it pretty to their head, so their ego takes over, and they just go too hard. And that's when people fail.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. They're getting too early. It's it's not as good.
But yeah, because it is it's a tattooing apprenticeship would be kind of the highest earning money apprenticeship you could have if you were competent.
Depends what kind of apprenticeship you have.
Yeah.
My apprenticeship was proper old school, so I didn't get paid anything. I had to work a second job. Were
you tattooing straight off the bat, or were you
No, I was at the studio for, I think it was about a year before I even did anything.
Taking bookings, cleaning, setting up needles.
Drawing for my boss, drawing all his designs and
I used to
making
do that.
needles. Did you?
Yeah, I was just getting tattooed so much on a Wednesday. I'd just go to the parlour and just help him out every now and then, or every week on a Wednesday.
Yeah, cool.
But I just like being in that environment. Tattoo parlours are fun places to be when it's a good crowd. It's just hanging out with mates, pretty much.
Pretty much. Depends what studio.
Depends on the vibe of the studio, obviously. But yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. But I had to work, so I worked as a chef as well while I was doing my tattoo apprenticeship. So I was doing
in the UK.
Yeah.
It's hard yakka over there.
It's tricky.
It's I wanted to move to the UK to cook when I was younger.
Yeah. It's crazy. There's a lot of Polish chefs. You got to work with a lot of Polish people.
And you just did that, obviously, just in the spare time you had?
I did it. So I was at the studio 5 days a week, and then I was a chef 5 nights a week.
Really?
Yeah, I did that for about a year and a half.
No shit.
Yeah. And then when I finally got ready to do my first paid tattoos, I quit the chef job.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, finally.
And so you mentioned that you were a naughty boy with a can. What was your tag?
I don't want to say.
You don't want to say?
Nah.
Were you trained?
Nah. I tried one and I failed miserably. So
really?
I was like, fuck this.
What do you mean by failed? You got pinged?
I nearly fell down.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I've always wanted to just attend a train mission.
It's pretty hard to find someone that wants to take you along.
Just to sit. Some people have offered.
Really?
Yeah.
Do it?
I've had people offered. I think I'd be too scared to get arrested.
Now it's bad too. If you get done for graft now,
they'll fucking put you in jail.
Yeah. when I was younger, I knew of a guy. He wrote, what did he write? I can't remember what he wrote exactly, but the cops had taken photos of every tag of he'd done for like 5 years, and they pinged him one time. They did him for everything.
Do you still enjoy the scene? Like, do you enjoy watching the scene?
Yeah, I tried to like get back into it a little bit, like not doing it, but just keep on top of it. But man, there's too many people doing it now. I can't follow it.
Australia has some phenomenal... Oh, see, like, someone like Soffles, I don't know if you'd even call him a graffiti artist anymore. He's more like just a general artist. When someone paints your wall and then your wall immediately becomes worth 20 grand, I don't know if they're a graffiti artist anymore.
That's the fine line, isn't it, between artist and
it's like
street artist.
Same thing about tattooists. Like, a lot of tattooists will bridge that gap eventually and become more of an artist than a tattooist, I feel. Depends how many, like, you do. I've noticed with you do a lot of, like, not commission pieces, but you do a lot of, like, artworks and shit as well. Not a lot of tattooists do that. Or a lot do, but a lot do, but that's when they, like, I think, bridge the gap from just scratching people to kind of embracing how much of an artist they are and being more artistic.
Depends how much time you put in.
Yeah.
You know, if you're tattooing full time, it's like a draining job sometimes. A lot of drawing afterwards, a lot of prep work, and then if you have time left over, you can do a bit of painting. But that's the good thing about the style I do. I draw a lot of stuff on freehand, so I don't really have to do much prep.
It'd be so interesting. So I've been talking to Radams and Stu about doing my left arm, and just the stencil alone would fucking be so fun because both of you freehand.
It'd be pretty cool. I reckon.
I watched Radams do this poor bloke's whole back while I was getting tattooed over those 2 days. He was doing a collab as well.
Wow.
Can't remember who he was doing with. It really just escapes me. But he was doing a collab as well. And just looking at his stencil, I was like, I can't see it. Like, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's so frantic.
He knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah, he knows what's going on, but he would like just be like, and he would just stand back and then he would just draw another squiggle cool. And he's like, that's how he does it.
I think it's just guidelines. So when you actually, well, like I do the same, when you start tattooing, you kind of change it on the fly anyway. You
just have such a contrasting style. It would be so fun because I don't know how much he even brings out a liner. I don't know how much shit he even lines up.
I don't reckon he lines much.
It's just all shading. It's very different. To, I imagine yours obviously is very stencil heavy.
Yeah, I do a lot like heavy line work.
Yeah, heavy line work. Sorry.
Yeah, you got to like bridge the image
or
from
else
the
you
background.
can kind of. I imagine if the line work's not perfect, it'll just all kind of fucking bleed in.
Yeah, you got to separate the background to the foreground. So that's really tricky sometimes, especially if you just work in black and grey Japanese. It's really easy to lose the subject matter in the background because they're the same. So you got to make one really simple or one really complex.
Why Japanese?
Why did I pick it? Always had a fascination with it. When I started tattooing, I was in a street shop, so I just did walk-ins.
Yeah.
For years and years.
That's probably the best environment for a young artist to be in.
You get subjected to every style possible.
Tribal script,
portraits,
realism. Yeah.
Even if you suck at realism, you still do it.
Yeah.
Like I was. I did some real shit realism.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to try.
Do you reckon you'd be able to, now that you're a better tattooist, do you reckon you would be able to successfully do one?
I'll give it a crack. Do you want?
I'll fucking try it.
I did an Arnold Schwarzenegger portrait. That was the last one I did.
Really?
Probably about 10 years ago.
Colour or black and grey?
Nah, black and grey.
If it was colour, you'd probably have way more of a shot of achieving something good.
No, I don't reckon.
No?
Black and grey is because you've only got like 5 shades to play with.
Yeah.
With colour, it's like the whole colour.
Yeah, the whole palette.
You got to do skin tone and everything. It'd be way harder.
So this is the first colour tattoo I've ever really had. Oh, I've had some colour on my legs, but like nothing like this.
Yeah.
And just watching them pour out the colours and choosing the colours, I was like, fucking...
Yeah. Well, you waste half of them though anyway, so...
Yeah.
You always pour out more than you need. I do it all the time.
Your palettes would be fucking wild.
It's very selective. Probably like 6 or 7 colours. Then you just mix them together if you need different gradients and... Use a lot of white to like white down the colour. You
don't even think of that as a normal person. Like you have to be so good with your colours, like know all your primary and like colours and shit.
Get used to it.
I fucking don't know what colour makes what.
It's just practice.
I just know if I go out really heavy drinking one night and I'm pissing the next day and they got like a blue thing in the toilet, it's gonna be green. That's all I know.
Depends what cocktails you're on the night before, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's so you just liked Japanese.
Yeah, like I enjoyed that style the most when I was tattooing in the street shop. So we'd have just flash on the walls that you'd pick, go in, like people would be like, oh, I want number 7, or like I want this sleeve. I'd do like back pieces as walk-ins. It's crazy.
That's a fucking bold move.
It's crazy. But you wouldn't see them. Like you do one session of line work and they wouldn't come back. But
gives me the shits, like how people can just have unfinished tattoo. How many unfinished pieces do you reckon you got going around?
There'll be heaps. Well, because everything's in progress at some point.
The worst scenario is someone just comes in, you stencil them, and then 10 years later they just get someone else to fill it in.
Well, that definitely happens a lot, man.
Like one of their mates.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Probably at home.
Yeah.
Got a tattoo machine off eBay. Let's give it a crack.
Yeah.
I've got heaps of people out there that I haven't seen for years and years. Eventually they'll come back, but then it's so hard to finish it.
It's also the money. Money's just so tight for a lot of people at the moment.
I get that too. Yeah, I get
What
that.
is your day? What is your day rate?
1,400.
That's fucking not bad.
Yeah, I mean,
with how much you can cover in that space.
It's Adelaide. You can't really get away with doing too much more than that. I don't think people are, but it's a fine line.
I was talking to the Joel, the Kism, the person I had on last week, and I was talking how I went to a rites of passage. I believe it would have been like 10 or 12 years ago, and Nico Hurtado and Carlos Torres were there, and this dude was getting tattooed by Carlos Torres over 3 days, and it was $5,000 a day at the time.
Australian or US?
Australian.
Fuck. Yeah. I went to Carlos' shop.
Did you?
In LA. Yeah, me and Jade, my partner, we guessed it.
Oh, that would have been fantastic.
Yeah, that was cool. That was next level black and grey. I've never seen any tattoos like that before.
In my opinion, it's just not even. It's just the quality of the blending and how smooth he transitions his colours and his black and greys. He's just figured it out. It's just seamless. Yeah. Like it looks so smooth.
That place is like a museum. Like you go in, everyone does oil paintings. Like all the tattoo artists.
I love that.
They're just on the. I was tattooing next to like.
Oh, you tattooed there?
Yeah. Me and Jade, my partner, we guessed at his shop.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you just went and visited. You did a stint there.
Yeah, I think we did 4 days there.
Oh, that would have been
in
fantastic.
Long Beach. Yeah, the Raven and the Wolves. I think the studio's called. Yeah, but yeah, all the artists do oil painting as well. Like they do seminars. They have a room out the back set up with like a stage and lighting. And
that's sick.
Where they get people in to do life drawing and stuff like that.
That's what I loved about Fall of Muse. It was like walking into a fucking art gallery. Like a lot of them paint the stuff, but a lot of them also purchased art and like put it on their little stations.
Yeah, ours is the same. You just collect so much artwork over the years doing so many conventions that you don't want to put them at home because you end up looking like a tat shop. So.
If no one has purchased a print from Stu, they are fucking top tier.
Cheers, mate.
You missed out on the sale though. Is it still going?
I'll do another one.
You will?
I won't say when because people wait.
The art paper's so good.
Yeah, I print them myself.
Really?
Yeah. So
really?
I got like a big fine art printer that I just print myself.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like, if you weren't heaps into art, you wouldn't even be able to really almost distinguish it from, because you can see the textures in the paint. You can still see all the textures and stuff.
That's what I want. I wanted to spend a lot of time and effort getting them nice, because I've bought prints in the past that people just print on shit paper. It looks horrible. So if people are spending money, they want like nice artwork. So, and
if you buy one, put it in a nice fucking frame.
Oh yeah, do it yourself.
Just don't go to Kmart, don't go to anywhere. Just go and get a nice frame.
I print everything weird size anyway, so
yeah,
kind of people, you have to get them custom framed because it looks way better.
Yeah, they're so nice. The little split masks, the Hanya masks. Yeah, so good.
Yeah, it's fun. They're fun to paint. Real fun.
And that 2025 one you have up there, is it the skull?
Oh yeah.
Is it
That's all right,
Skull and Dragon? That's good.
Yeah. I've got some way better shit coming.
Yeah. How much do you charge for... Do you sell your originals?
Not really. I just can't... They're just in a drawer. Yeah, just rolled up somewhere. Eventually, I'll keep them for a few years and then I'll be like, oh, don't really need this anymore. I should frame them and put them up, but I don't really want to look at it.
Do you hate your work? Like, not hate it, but do you critique it heaps?
Not really. You look at it long enough, you'd be like, fuck, I wish I changed that or did that different.
Well, I can't even listen back to my podcast.
I can imagine.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't bring myself... Like, after this, I'll just skip through it and pick certain sections.
You don't watch it through and...
No, I can't. I can't listen to my own voice. It's just... Anyone who can, enjoy themselves, listening to themselves is just beyond me. Or,
yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I imagine you never put a painting up and you're like, I just fucking absolutely killed every fucking bit of that.
Once you have that mindset, you should not continue because you won't progress.
Yeah, so that's perfect.
Oh no, yeah. I don't get when people say, "Oh, this artist, this oil painter from like the 1800s, it was his like final work, that it was his peak." And I was like, "Who decided that?"
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't have been him because he'd be like, "No, I'll do a better one next time."
And when did you, from the UK, when did you come back to Australia? Did you finish your apprenticeship in the UK?
Yeah, I finished my apprenticeship and I worked for the guy I worked for about 6 years it was. He was a Hell's Angel. So I went to open my own studio and...
Burned down?
No, he wanted to. He wanted to cut my hands off.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, if you leave, like, it's not going to be good. So I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So then I just come to Australia.
There was a bit of that even. That's not just to the UK. Fucking, you'd hear crazy stories like that shit happening over in Adelaide even.
Yeah, Adelaide was, when I come here, I was like, oh man, Adelaide's like way worse than the UK. UK is not too bad with bikey stuff, but I think it was back in the day, but they still run a lot of stuff over there, like tattoo studio wise. In
Adelaide, when the bikey laws came through, I remember the brief period after when like everyone was just opening up parlours, like every fucking second shop was just a tattoo parlour. It was crazy time.
It was, as you said before, it has its pros and cons.
I felt like the bikey laws had its pros and cons, but yeah,
they would regulate it more. Obviously,
it was a lot more regulated.
Yeah.
Obviously, artists didn't have as much of an option to go out and branch out by themselves and have it. I don't even know if fucking anyone had a private studio 12 years ago. I wouldn't be able to tell you. They were around.
They were just no signs up or anything. So they were like completely private. Yeah. So if you knew where it was, then you knew.
But then you also, so now artists obviously have like a lot more freedom, but there's also a lot more shit around. So you kind of have to sift through that.
The quality's a lot.
There was still shit parlours back in the day. The first tattoo parlour I went to was it was fucking pretty weird. Burned in Hell in Port Adelaide.
Oh, I remember that place.
Yeah, it was a fucking strange place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have went in there once before they shut, but...
Hell nice artists and stuff. It was just like, they were tattoo art. They were just tattooists. It was just a bunch of tattooists.
Just getting
doing
down,
7 tattoos a day.
Yeah. That's sick. Yeah, it's good.
It's good culture.
Yeah, the culture's so good, but Adelaide's just so behind the rest of the world. Once you tattoo in like America or even UK, like the UK is far more advanced.
What do you mean by that? Just skill-wise or just professionalism?
Everything. Like way more people are tattooed. The quality is like next level. You don't see much shit tattoos going around. There's tattoo studios everywhere. There's good ones everywhere. And it's just like more open. So here you still go to a pub and you can't get in the pub here because you got tattoos on your neck and stuff, which is crazy because what does that even mean?
It's fucking stupid.
It is stupid. And probably the bouncer telling you not to come in's got tattoos anyway.
I would have thought that Australia was more accepting of tattoos because I swear that I've travelled a fair bit of the world and I think Australia is one of the most tattooed populations ever per capita. Like there's so many people just rock around with head tattoos now and throat tattoo. Like it's so normal, but like you said, the venues and stuff like make it a lot harder to have, which is strange to me because so many people are so heavily tattooed in Australia.
And the people that work in those places as well are heavily tattooed. So
the thing is though, when you go to a country, you're seeing the most tattooed people because you're generally going to tattoo parlours and working in them and being in that environment. So when I go to places, I'm not. So I never really see that. I remember when I went to Europe because I've had my whole body done for fucking like 10 years. I haven't gotten a tattoo in like 8 years. This is the first one I've gotten. And when I used to go, I went to Greece and stuff by myself for like 6 weeks. And how I'd meet people is I'd wear hell short shorts I'd run every morning topless.
Yeah.
And people would be like, they'd never seen it before. They'd never seen like a bodysuit before. That's cool. They'd come up to me and I'd be like, you want a drink?
Nice.
That's how I met people for 6 weeks.
That's how you had a really good night that time.
Yeah, I'd have great nights, but I'd never... I guess it was a lot more niche like 10 years ago, though. Now it's a lot more prevalent.
Yeah, well, especially with these guys.
You were talking about this young kid before that's fucking getting a whole bodysuit from
Kai. Yeah, my client Kai, he's a legend.
How old's he?
He's 24, I think.
Fucking full bodysuit from one dude at 20. At least he picked a good artist. Like, if you pick a shit artist, you're going to be Devo.
Well, that's true.
And traditional Japanese it doesn't age. Like, it's going to be traditional Japanese in 50 years. It's going to be the exact same as now. Whereas if you're fucking dabbling in realism, it's hard. Because
especially out here in the environment that we're in. The sun just obliterates that stuff.
my realism was so good 10 years ago. And now it's like, it's still good, but it's like, now you got people like Jaden and fucking, like, all these people around that are just freaks.
Yeah, the quality is next level.
We didn't have people like that in Adelaide that were doing that kind of shit. Like, you only see Nico Hurtado and people doing that kind of shit 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So ahead of his time.
Well, that's as well, Instagram helps with that stuff. Like, you just get subjected to any, like, someone from across the other side of the world, you can just look at their portfolio.
You've seen, like I was saying last week, I've seen so many, like, Eastern European people with, like, 4,000 followers, and they're the best tattooists I've ever seen in my life.
Well, yeah, it's crazy, but Europe's just next level.
It's because of this. And I never thought of it. A lot of the boys that follow Muse is like, honestly, a lot of it's the skin.
Oh, yeah,
The skin over there is just so supple. It never
like
sees,
translucent.
Never sees fucking sun,
Man,
ever.
I love going to tattoo back in the UK because I do the same work there, and I'm like, holy shit, the colour's like fluoro.
Pop.
And sometimes it's like too bright.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't see any sun, so it's like,
I'm really surprised at how well some of these colours held in. I really didn't think they were going to do well on my skin, but when I shave, it looks so nice.
yeah. It depends on how the technique and how it's put in as well.
You can pump some colour in.
Definitely can pump colour.
Have you tattooed Adam Jones?
Yeah.
Is his chest by you?
No, I forget. I think that's from Tom. But no, I did his leg. It's like unfinished still, like 12 years later or something.
Doesn't sound like he's a fucking coward. He won't get tattooed unless he has fucking 7 numbing creams.
He wants me to do his head, I think.
His little peanut head would be so good to tattoo. He's got such a little peanut head.
He sent me a video of it. I think he's cut his mullet in quite nice, so he can like work around the mullet.
I think he's full bald now.
Is he?
I think so.
He's getting ready for the tat.
I think so.
Yeah.
That head tattoo that you have as your profile picture is 1,000% the best head tattoo I've ever seen in my life.
Cheers, mate.
It just stayed in so, like, the colours are so nice.
It's crazy. It's so cool. Like, as I said, he doesn't see the sun at all.
2 days.
2 days to do that whole head, yeah. He's a monster, that guy.
The thing I like about Japanese, so I never used to like him back in the day, but the thing I love about him, I've always had a thing where I don't like seeing skin. Like, when I get a tattoo, I don't want any. I like it full, like just full color or full just shaded anything. I don't want to see any skin tone because I like the look of just solid.
Okay, yeah.
With Japanese tattoos, that's what I like about them now. They're just fucking solid all the way through.
Sometimes you need to use skin as like a. So I don't use white at all. I use skin as like a highlight. Yeah, so you make stuff darker. It's like an illusion.
Well, I guess the skin's timeless, really, and the whites can go yellow and. Especially in the Australian sun.
White does go yellow, that's why I don't use it. Yeah.
My right leg's fucking so yellow.
Yeah. It's like, it happens instantly. You can't help it.
Do you use like opaques?
Like grey?
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
No, I'll just put a bit of white with the grey wash when I'm doing backgrounds to smooth it out a bit. But yeah, the greys, sometimes it depends. Like if I'm doing like a dragon or something that needs cover up, then do a bit of the opaque grey because it covers usually the laser pretty well.
Is there many like tattoo? You were saying that Adelaide's pretty behind in tattooing, or Australia. Oh, Melbourne's probably one of the only states that's Melbourne's definitely the hub of tattooing in Australia. It's so fucking overwhelming how many good artists are from Melbourne.
Yeah, there's a lot of studios there too.
Oh, it's insane.
But there's a lot more people that get tattooed. So,
but do you find that is there like a mentality of people not wanting to see people do well in Adelaide as well that doesn't help,
like
or
jealousy,
yeah, I think things like that?
Yeah, I think there's tattooing has always had that though. There's not much camaraderie, like people don't want to help each other out, especially like if you've got your own studio. They just want to be like, yep, it's my studio, so I'm going to like do everything I can to get busy as.
Well, you see that happening even in like within studios, like people just not helping each other as much as they should be.
That sucks. It should be like that's your family, you should be helping them out. Like, we help each other out in our studio, but we have some people that do all different styles. Like, it'd be hard if everyone in the same shop was doing black and grey realism. You'd have like a pecking order, obviously, with stuff that walked in, but man, everyone's doing the same thing. It'd be tricky. But if you got like our studio, we have black and grey realism, Japanese. We have fine line. We have traditional, neo-traditional. So there's something for everyone.
What does your partner do? Does she do more like fine line work or?
Jade does like neo-traditional, but heavy black as well. She does a lot of blackout stuff. I
really like fucking neo trad now.
Neo trad's sick.
Is it Ryan Brovler? RB Tattooer on Instagram.
Oh, Glasshouse.
Glasshouse. Yeah. He's fucking really good with it.
Yeah.
And Sherm from there is good at his cartoons and all that kind.
Yep.
I'm really into like my favorite kind of tattoos now are like ultra realism with like cartoon elements mixed in with them, which is like kind of
cartoon characters.
Yeah, it's becoming like somewhat of a trend to mix like realism with pop culture references and color and shit. And I just like I've just like contrasting style now.
Yeah, it's good when people branch out and do stuff like that. Just break the barriers of the norm.
That's why I reckon you and Radham's any kind of collab pieces you do will be fucking insane.
It'll look pretty cool.
It'll just be such a clash of just two totally opposite styles, but still very flowy.
Yeah, for sure. It'll look. I have an idea of how it would look, but I think it would look completely different to how I think it would look.
I reckon it'll look like your prints.
Yeah, it's possible.
It'll look like your prints, but I think it would look cool.
But way better.
But like because he would. I reckon if he stuck to his black and grey, it would look sick.
He doesn't do much colour anyway, does he? I've seen a couple of bits.
I don't think I've ever... I haven't seen him use colour, but I'm sure he has. Red would lend well to his style.
Yeah.
And when you were graphing, were you in a crew?
Yeah,
couple.
Little ones, yeah. Only ones that we made ourselves kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just little graph crews, yeah. Just walk around at night and hit the streets.
Born and raised in Morphettville. It's changed a lot down here now.
I haven't been down much. It's the first time I've been down there for a little while. But, yeah.
Everyone's rich that bought houses in the 90s.
Well, man, I think the medium house price down here is like 600 grand or 500 grand.
Fucking this thing here is worth 7 now.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
On Doctors Road.
That's cool.
It's fucking crazy.
Man, that's so cool. Well, it's all going to go up eventually. Like we're in Hallett Cove, so I bought my place there about 4 or 5 years ago.
That would even have gone up substantially. We used to live on Grand Central Avenue when I was younger for a bit. For like 10 years. We used to live on the SB.
Yeah, right.
That house would be worth fucking millions now.
It's crazy. But it's just natural progression. It's growth.
Hallett Cove is as north as I'll go.
Really?
That's north. That's like as far as I'll go.
Yeah.
I'm so institutionalized to the south. It's just such a different vibe down here.
Yeah,
it's hard to explain to people that didn't grow up down south. It's such a different. Like to me, it's just so separate from Adelaide.
It is way separate.
It's a bit backwards.
Yeah, it's good though.
It's not culturally diverse down here much. That's the only thing. There's no the food and stuff's not as good as like when you venture out to the northern or eastern or western suburbs.
Yeah, you just need someone to open some real nice like street food shop down here or something. Mexican.
No fucking good Mexican down here.
Why not?
The only really good Mexicans down in Port Adelaide, I think. Have you been to La Popular Taqueria?
No. There's a taco place that's open near our place, Nacho Libre or Taco Libre. That's what.
Is that in Hallett Cove?
No, that's in Brighton. So it's just down the road.
Really?
On Brighton Road, man.
Delicious.
They do like birria tacos, like legit ones.
If you fuck with Mexican, venture down to Port Adelaide and go to La Popular Taqueria.
All right.
It's a little Mexican lady, just makes tacos. It's amazing.
Yum.
Fish tacos, steak tacos.
Good.
Pork. Delicious.
The good stuff.
And when you delved into Japanese tattooing, you never thought to just go fucking tattoo in Japan?
Nah.
No?
I don't reckon. You wouldn't... I reckon...
White people over there, they probably wouldn't accept you as much, eh?
To learn from a master, I don't think you can anyway.
Oh, you would not be able to as a white dude.
Yeah.
Unless you were like born in Japan, probably. They're so proud over there. I love it.
Japan's sick.
I love people... I was reading lots of Reddit posts and stuff before I went to Japan just to get the vibe on like mostly on tattoos and where I'd be able to go and stuff. And I found it was pretty good. I just couldn't go to like onsens or like certain beaches and shit.
A couple of restaurants and stuff. They don't want you in there.
A couple restaurants have signs saying no fucking Westerners. Like they just won't let you in if you're a Westerner. Right. But it's probably because they don't take shit like Bali and stuff. Bali accept all ass shit. Like they'll let you be a dickhead over there. Japan,
just
like
act up.
You're not going to be a dickhead here, and I like that.
That's good because the tourists do suck. When you go places like that, they just I don't know why they act like way they do. Tourists just they ruin everything.
I only had one night where I was like, Australian drunk.
Yeah.
I was drunk a lot of it, but like I had one night where I was like, it's so cheap, and it just got me.
Did you get taken home one of those little carts they rock around in, get their drunk businessmen?
I just remember walking in this tiny alleyway in Osaka, and I was just fucking running into trash cans, and I was so drunk I couldn't even walk, and the Japanese people were like, oh no.
Damn.
They get such secondhand shame from looking at you.
That's funny.
But
fuck that.
You didn't do anything tattoo related over there?
Nah, nothing. I just wanted to take all the culture in as it was and not worry about tattooing at all.
Did you go first in the snow season?
We went in spring, so we landed on Cherry Blossom Day. Oh. It was meant to be like 2 weeks earlier, but they bloomed 2 weeks late for some reason. They come out like the day we landed, which was pretty cool.
I wish I saw that. Is it as good as people say?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but like there's just influencers everywhere. Just with their tripods set up and like walking down the street.
Oh, they fucking
you're getting in their video and they get real moody at you. It's pretty funny.
Where did you go?
We started off in Tokyo and we stayed in Shibuya, I think, for a couple of nights. Yeah. And then we did like a couple of real small towns.
I wish I did more small towns.
They're so much different.
The ones like when you're on the bullet train, all those towns that you see between Osaka and like some of them are like just so small, but they look like they would just be so nice.
Yeah, because there's no tourists there.
There'd be like no English as well, eh?
Yeah, a little bit. But use the app. We had like a translation app that we used.
Google Translate?
Something like that. It made it a lot easier. But yeah, so we went to Osaka as well and Kyoto. And then we ended in Kanazawa. It's like a little ski village.
Yeah.
So it was spring, so there was still a little bit of snow around because it was quite high up in the mountain. And that was sick. Like, no tourists around, but you get off the train and like the first thing you see is like a Gucci store. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a tiny little town. There's like a massive Gucci outlet store.
We stayed in Shinjuku in Tokyo, but we obviously did Shibuya and all that. And then Osaka, Kyoto, we did Hiroshima.
Nice. I didn't go there.
And Fukushima. And no, we did Fukuoka.
Okay.
Yeah, but next time I want to go to Hokkaido.
Yeah, same. That's where we've been told the best ski is.
Yeah, well, that's where all the best skiing is and stuff. But Hiroshima was so heavy.
Really?
Oh, it's so developed. Like you wouldn't. It's more developed than fucking Sydney and Melbourne.
Really?
Yeah, they've just built it. Japanese are so efficient. I literally watched because we started in Tokyo and finished in Tokyo. I watched this fucking like 12-story building slowly be built like halfway.
Wow.
Just because they are 24/7 on the clock. Like everything's developing
just
so
like
quickly.
Little ants crawling over it, just building.
Oh man, it's insane. And Hiroshima's just so developed. But the museum and the one building that survived obviously is still there.
Wow.
So where the bomb dropped, the building directly, I believe they call it the dome. Mm-hmm. It dropped like 50 meters above it or so.
Wow.
And so it mushroomed over it.
Oh shit.
So that building's the only one that survived.
Wow.
But the museum is so fucking heavy. Someone fucking fainted during the tour.
Or just because it's overwhelming.
Yeah, it's so overwhelming. Like I'm not the most empathetic person or fucking emotional person. Even I was like, fuck, this is pretty upsetting. It's great. Like they have a famous staircase. They've cut this staircase out of out the front of a building. There was cement stairs. This dude's shadows burnt into it.
Wow.
You can see him sitting down. He's like holding a sandwich or something. You can see from the blast his shadows just embedded into this fucking cement.
Far out, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's just extreme heat, isn't it? Just kind of.
People were fucking. It was the rain after that fucking killed most people.
The rain.
Well, the rain was toxic. It was black.
Acid rain.
Yeah, it was black rain. It was the black rain. It was just fucking. Everyone thought they were fine after it, and then it started raining this acid, and their fucking skin was burning off.
Crazy. Who was? Imagine if you were the guy to okay that. Jeez, that's so crazy.
America. Fuck yeah.
Well, hopefully it doesn't happen again.
So some weird shit's gonna happen again this year. It's gonna be wild.
This year's been pretty wild already, with like the stuff happening and the guy that drove in the crowd and the the Cybertruck that blew up and all that shit.
I'm not like heaps into politics. I just don't have it. It's not in my brainwave to like think about politics because I'm not going to change anything. So I try not to focus on that shit, or else it'll eat me up.
Yeah.
But Trump's already like, he's banned fucking trans people from joining the army and shit already.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't he just say there's only 2 genders now?
There's only 2 now. He's hell poking the bear.
Yeah, he is. He's doing some crazy stuff.
It's crazy because some of the things I can like, you can agree with both sides. Like, you don't always have to pick a side. Just pick the best fucking arguments from both.
Well, it's just that, as I say, there's left wing and right wing, but they're both same part of the same bird.
Majority of people, like normal people, don't voice their opinions on social medias. You have to be a hell specific type of person to really die on a hill on social media. And there is like a massive chunk of the population that's just in the middle, that just don't want to be a dickhead and just let people do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
To an extent.
I voiced a lot of concern in COVID with some government stuff.
That was very different.
Yeah, and I got shadow banned heaps for saying
whoever thought COVID was a normal scenario is fucking.
Well, at the time, people
weird.
did, and they were rolling with it. But that's only because they were force fed from the media exactly what they needed to hear.
They made me get fucked. They got me. They fucking got me because I was like, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. Fucking in 100 years, I'm never getting it. And then they said you would not be able to travel.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, fuck. I got one, and then I didn't get another one.
Yeah. I didn't get any. I held out.
I wish I didn't because I didn't know at the time. It didn't occur to me that, oh my god, they're gonna just revert it and you'll be able to travel. But as soon as they started putting travel bans on, I felt like I was in a little fucking box. I was like, nah.
I knew it would pass eventually, but it took a while to come good.
Oh, it's still not good. The economy's fucked from COVID.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
If you're not earning like $100,000 a year now, you're fucked. Like if you got a job where you're only earning $40,000 a year and you got to pay $600 rent in Hackham, you're fucked.
Jesus.
Which is what it is.
Yeah.
It's $600
man
to get a fucking rental. Like if you want a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, you're paying $650.
Wow.
In the slum.
I was talking to a mate. He's in Brisbane. I don't know what suburb he's in, but he's trying to get a house. But he has to rent until he can get like his accountant's go ahead. But he's spending over $2,000 a week in rent, and they won't give him a mortgage. But it's like you're spending $2,000 on rent.
I will never understand that.
That's crazy.
I know so many people that are paying $700-800 a week, and it's like they'll never get approved for a home loan. But my home loan's fucking. I pay $300 a week for this house.
It doesn't make sense, hey.
It's like you can get a $700,000 house and you'll be paying less.
Yeah, less. Yeah, you just need a good accountant.
It just depends who the government want to give money to. They probably, I don't know if they like fucking seeing people struggle.
Probably. Will they? Maybe they want to put people on the universal basic income.
Yeah,
That's
could be.
That's the end goal.
$500 a week for everyone.
Well, it'd be less than that.
That's all you get.
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just you're in one of the only. You're probably in a pretty good trade for like your trade can never be automated.
Well, they're trying real hard to regulate us.
In what way?
Like the insurance stuff. It's crazy. I don't know how much you know about that. Like
insurance.
So because tattoo studios are classed as high risk because of the
health hazards and
because of the fire bombings and stuff like that.
Okay.
So there's only one insurer there's one underwriter called Lloyd's of London that will cover tattoo studios in, I think it's just every state's different, but I think it's Australia wide. And because we're classed as high risk, no one else wants to touch tattoo studios. So our premiums are overinflated. So we usually it's the building insurance. So when you rent a building and the landlord usually covers the building insurance because it's their building. But if we come in and it inflates it by $20,000 a year, we're liable to pay the building insurance.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and it's you have brokers that can kind of get a little bit lower, but yeah, at the end of the day, like it's like you pay or you don't have a studio. So that's what shuts a lot of studios down is the insurance.
No way.
Yeah, so we have to pay our insurance on top of that. So we have to pay malpractice and contents insurance and all that stuff. So yeah, you just have no choice. It's crazy. Sometimes it's like the building insurance premium as much as the rent for the year.
Tattooing is just it's so much more legitimate than it used to be. It doesn't need to be like that. Like I remember back in the day, tattoo parlours only took cash. Now
we still do. I only take cash.
Only?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking like that.
Yeah,
That's
it should
good.
be. You got to circulate it still.
No,
keep
do you
it in
know?
circulation.
So our business used to be. Fish and chip shops are actually still pretty good for cash. The southern suburb people still use a fair bit of fucking cash.
Yeah, of course.
There's a lot of people that use cash down in the south, and
It's good.
our business used to be 70% cash, maybe 30 FPOS. But now with Uber, things like this,
Do you do
online
Uber for yours?
you have to.
Do you think
We earn way too much money on Uber to get rid of
do they
it.
double dip with like fees and stuff?
We
So
get a different percentage to other businesses because we're so busy on it.
Okay. So as busy you are, the better
it's
fee you
still
get.
very high.
Yeah.
It's 26% every order.
We don't use it, but like the last time I did use it,
It's fucking handy. It's so handy.
It is well down south. It's not that handy, but
It's not. It's. Do you know when it's handy? It's handy if you're hammered at home, or if you can't drive and
Yeah.
you do want that. Fuck it. You just if
Just
you
want
have
a burger or something.
If you have the money for it, it is very. We're way more expensive on Uber because they
Man,
take 26%.
yeah. So you got to up your prices to cover it.
We'll get people fucking getting a can of Pepsi Max, and they'll be paying $15 once they get the delivery to the house.
Why would they buy just a Pepsi?
It's probably they were hungover.
Just walk down the shop. Eh?
Just hungover.
Oh wow.
But Uber, I think now would probably be 80% FPOS. 80% online kind of money where like everyone can see it, but it's there's kids, there's 15, 16, 17-year-olds that come in that wouldn't even know what a fucking $50 note looks like.
Well, you go because I pay cash everywhere as well. You go some places and they're like, you give them a 50 and they're like, oh, I haven't seen this in a while.
Yeah.
Like cash.
I went to a sandwich place in Glenelg the other day and I only had cash on me. And I gave him a $100 note and he said, we don't take cash.
Fuck,
And
that's
I
crazy.
said, well,
have
you
to take
got
cash.
to cancel my order then. I
Yeah.
can't pay you. I don't have my card.
That's the thing
I
is
don't
like
take my card with me everywhere.
it's so weird how people don't
Nando's?
take it. Yeah, I stopped using Nando's because of that. Yeah,
No fucking cash. It's like, do you hate making money?
obviously.
It's just so odd to me.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. But like, they just want to push the cash out because you can't track it.
Do you dabble with like fine metals or with like gold or
Yeah,
anything like that?
I'm partial to a bit of precious metal.
I was gonna try and get into gold, but I don't know. I feel like much like Bitcoin, I've missed the boat now because of how much it's exploded. But gold will never. Gold will always kind of retain
It'll
value.
never go down. Yeah, it'll constantly climb. It has done for the history of.
Did you get into the crypto kind of bug?
Yeah, got a bit of that too.
Yeah. Early?
Yeah,
You got in early?
early-ish. I think Bitcoin was like
Within the
20K,
last 10?
I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? You got into fucking 20K?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my, isn't it up to 100?
160, I think.
$160,000
Yeah,
one
is-
Bitcoin.
Yeah. Wild, hey.
We used 20 of them to buy drugs on Silk Road.
Did ya?
20.
Wow.
When we
Imagine.
were 18. So 13, 14 years ago.
20 Bitcoin.
One of my friends, it's passed away now, is a good friend of mine. He had 40.
Wow.
And they were worth $80 a pop at the time.
Jesus.
$80 a pop. But
crazy.
the only use for them was to buy illegal goods.
That's what it was
from online.
designed for, I guess.
Fake passports, weapons, drugs, everything. Just like before festivals, you could buy fucking 4 8-balls straight from Colombia for fucking 2 Bitcoins. And like, but in hindsight's 2020.
I had a friend who bought something from Amsterdam, and it came in like flower heads. So it was like a bunch of flowers that rocked up. And he was like, "What the hell?" And it was like separate instructions came later, and he was like, "You got to extract it by like, you take the head of the flower off, and it's like some weird. I don't know how I did it, but it was all these instructions on how to get it out, and it was from Amsterdam. Crazy.
Yeah, right. We used to get them in these little they're like, they used to say it was not scannable through an X-ray and stuff, and they just fucking put it in your letterbox.
Wow.
And back in the day, you used to have to go to the bank to get a Bitcoin.
Really? The bank?
Well, you used to have to do like a money order, then go to the bank and send off your cash or your money order to this person. It was like a real fucking weird system. It was
like a middleman.
You could not track it whatsoever. It was very strange.
I think the first time I bought it, you went onto this website and they give you a QR code, and then you go to the post office and you scan the QR code and then pay the cash to them.
I believe it was something like that.
But they got rid of that eventually because like people were laundering money that way.
But yeah, he bought in at $80.
Wow.
So many people would have held. Just so many people would have forgot passwords.
Oh yeah,
like
the
just
key.
shit like that.
Yeah.
And you can't recover it.
Be tricky. I reckon there might be a way, but
You'd have
be
to.
pretty hard.
Oh, if I had even fucking a half a Bitcoin in an account, I would take the year off work to try and fucking get it.
If I would as well, yeah, for sure.
Crypto made so many people. I remember I was in a Telegram chat with a heap of people buying Bitcoin, like coins at one point. This was like 8 years ago. And I just used to like watching and monitoring it and shit, because eventually I was like, oh, maybe I'll put 100. The only thing with coins is I started using it as gambling.
Okay.
Like eventually, because I missed the boat, and then this was when buying like shit coins was big. So you buy a coin at nothing and then hopefully it would boost up. It was just turned into fucking gambling.
You didn't buy the Trump coin?
I did not.
No.
I'm so dev I didn't buy Dogecoin as well.
Really?
Oh, so many people became millionaires off Dogecoin.
Been millionaires off heaps of stuff, yeah, just constantly.
I remember this guy bought into Doge on this group chat I was in, and he was like, I've literally just made generational wealth. See you later.
Wow.
I'm never hear from me again. Like hundreds.
It's hard because they've got a hold on the crypto as well. The ATO.
Now it's 50 cents to the dollar over a certain amount, isn't it?
Yeah, capital gains tax. I think it's up to 50% you got to pay. It's ridiculous.
It's the second you take it out, isn't it?
Yeah.
But do you get taxed?
If you trade it too.
Do you get taxed on your holdings?
I think you do. If you hold it for over a year, I think it's lower tax, but you still get taxed.
So is it more beneficial for you to just keep holding it until?
I think so. Until you figure out a way how to get it out like properly.
You have to talk to a really good... See, the thing is, we don't have accountants that are professionals in this yet. Or we will now.
I think they'd be around.
Now they would be.
Yeah.
But like, say, 8 years ago, it was such a new thing. No one accountant would have been specialised in that.
But it would have been easy to get it out then anyway, because I don't think the ATO would have been clued up on it properly yet. Or they wouldn't have had like a task force to like monitor it.
Are you familiar with Eric from MV2? Eric Varga, the owner of MV2. It's
I think I've met him a couple of times.
A skate shop down. It used to be on Beach Road near the tattoo parlour, but now it's just a bit further up. He bought in at like fucking $8.
Really? Wow.
He held a couple.
Yeah.
He didn't tell me how many, but he held a couple. He held a couple.
Well, it's the thing, like, it's just a gamble. Like, no one knows what it's going to do.
But the balls of steel to not take it out when it starts hitting 40,000, 50,000.
You just don't look at it.
The balls.
Don't look. Yeah,
is that what you do?
Just go, you have a little look, but then you're like...
It's not real.
Just what, it isn't really. It's just numbers. Well, like anything, your bank account's just numbers.
Yeah. That's why...
They could deplete any time. They could just... Gone.
I've always found cash is better because it's a physical...
Yeah, you just hold it.
Physical thing.
I mean, it does, like, the cash... If you have cash itself, it lowers value eventually, but if you say, like, if you get gold or silver, that holds the value.
It's also easier to keep track of, cash, I find, because I remember when I used to go out to town or something and I'd just have my card, that's when I'm having
you'd be tapping it all over the place.
Having $1,000 nights and stuff without even noticing though, because it's not real.
Just buying chicks drinks everywhere.
It's not real. Yeah. The same with like sports betting or gambling. Like if I got when I have a sports bet account, I could win like fucking $4,000. That doesn't look like real money. It's just a number on a screen. Appears, so you don't value that number as much. You're way more likely to just fucking lose it or spend it.
If you can hold it physically, then you're like,
oh fuck, that's a lot of fucking money. I'm gonna put it away, put it under my mattress.
Exactly.
Where do you go to buy your gold?
There's a couple of places in Adelaide that you can get it. I think it's City Bullion, I think it's called. It's up the top of near the art shop just off Hindley Street.
I've always just wanted an ounce just to hold it because I've never held an ounce of gold.
It's tiny.
I know.
1
that's
ounce
the
is
thing.
tiny.
I know.
But it's surprisingly heavy. So you put it in your hand, you're like, wow, that's for something that small. It's super heavy.
Ounce is like $4,000 at the moment.
I think it's like 4.2.
4.5.
Yeah, something like that. It's pretty cool.
It's just apparently I have a lot of friends that are pretty into like precious metals, and they say when you hold gold, it's a very, very weird feeling. It's like it's a very primal, like
it's cool, yeah.
The oldest currency, you know.
Yeah, and you're looking at it, you're like, wow, this is such a small little thing.
If someone were to pay you in gold, would you accept it?
Of course.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been paid in Bitcoin.
You have?
Times, yeah, and ETH.
Do you
tattoos.
just straight transfer? You don't have like the machine at your work?
Nah, like you just use the app with the QR code thing.
There's ATMs in Melbourne, I believe.
Bitcoin ATM?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one in Carolta Park. Coles has got one there.
And what, it literally just takes out a fine amount of your Bitcoin to
I'm
whatever?
not sure. I think you can deposit cash into it, but like the fees are crazy.
There is a gold service like that as well.
Is there?
You can buy. I remember this was years ago. There was a billionaire on Joe Rogan, and he was talking about he has a card and it's a gold card. So the actual card's made of 24 karat gold as well.
Cool.
It's like a MasterCard but made in gold. And every time you make a purchase with it, it just depletes. Like you have a bank,
Okay.
and the bank holds
so
your
it's
gold.
linked to like an ETF or something.
Yeah, and then so if you buy like $100 item, it'll just literally take out $100 worth of your gold.
Yeah, right.
I imagine there's
Interesting.
fees and whatnot
Yeah.
as well, but
I wouldn't like that, I don't think.
that sounds like a bit gimmicky.
I thought you was going to say they had like a vending machine where you kind of like buy the gold and like number 21 and it pops out the little machine.
Yeah, I really got and silver. I like that you can get more physical more physical.
Yeah.
Like you can buy a kilo.
Yeah. Like a kilo block is about like that big, I think.
Do you have silver as well?
A little bit. Yeah.
I have a lot of gold jewelry. I have
cool.
a fair bit of 24 karat gold jewelry that I own.
I haven't got any jewelry.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if I could wear like a chain or anything like that.
You don't have like a weird tattooists usually have like a weird hobby that they obsess over.
Gardening?
Gardening.
I like
That's
gardening,
like a
yeah.
really healthy one for a tattooist.
Yeah. Like growing veggies and
I like a bit of veggies.
it's fun. It's weird. I think it's something you do when you get older. Get to the veggies.
1,000%.
Yeah.
See, at the moment, I'm in the process of looking for a farm because I've reached
Really?
30.
Okay.
Barbecuing and farming. That's my new.
It's good.
It's my new thing.
Yeah.
I've always liked veggies. Like I've got a massive veggie patch in the backyard and shit. But
It's way different when you grow your own food and eat it. It tastes so much better.
do you know what you notice the most? Tomatoes.
Potatoes, I reckon.
I'm growing potatoes for the first time.
Nice.
First
What ones?
time.
Which one?
I believe. Just normal fucking jacket
Like
potatoes.
King Edward or something.
King Edwards.
Yeah.
And I just keep layering them with dirt.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, because they'll just keep sprouting.
How long do they take to harvest?
I
You
reckon
can keep
like
them
3
for
or 4 months.
But you can keep them for like a year, yeah?
Yeah, you can just, if you got like a cellar or something, or like we just put them in a box. Don't wash them though.
And
Once you
keep
wash the
the
dirt
dirt.
off, you have to keep the dirt on 'em. So you just chuck them in a box and somewhere dark.
In a dry place.
Yeah, and dark and cool, and they'll last for months and months.
Interesting.
Yeah, we grew pumpkin.
I got
we
a
had-
fucking boatload of pumpkins.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like the long butternut
Yeah,
pumpkin.
That's what I got in the
Yeah,
backyard.
they keep for like a year.
You don't realise how long veg lasts.
Well,
Because
the ones you grow yourself do.
The veg that hits the shelves at
Oh, dude,
Woolies
they're
and
sprayed with
shit.
so much
they
pesticides.
But that veg is like 6 months old before it even gets to the like. It's in the fucking warehouses.
Yeah, it's
for
just sitting in
months,
storage.
just getting sprayed, and
Yeah,
then
they
you
spray
take
it,
it
yeah.
home and it goes off in a fucking.
Yeah.
Like tomatoes should not go off in 2 days.
No, definitely not. But they're sprayed. Also, the stuff you get in the supermarket, they're sprayed with like a chemical to ripen them quicker, so they can pick them faster. So like, there's just heaps of crap in there that you don't need.
Tomatoes is definitely the biggest one for me.
Tomatoes are good.
Like
Cherry
a
tomatoes.
homegrown tomato tastes so different. It tastes so different
Oh,
to
yeah.
a store-bought tomato.
Sweet and-
But you reckon potatoes?
Potatoes are even they're sweet. I reckon the homegrown ones, juicy and like real creamy.
You
make
vegetarian or anything like that?
Nah,
No.
like meat.
No, like crime in your spare time. You're a very like level-headed tattoo artist.
Yeah, just I don't drink, so I don't do
Don't
anything
drink
like
at all.
No,
Ever?
I have done, yeah, but I've been off booze for like a year and a couple months, I think.
Sobriety's like a pretty hot trend at the moment.
Yeah, it is with tattooing as well, because I think the older, like my generation of tattooers, they go party pretty hard for the first 10 or 15 years. And then they realise, oh shit, like I gotta actually like knuckle down because I'm getting old and your body can't handle it much anymore.
My
Tattooing
joints physically hurt after a drinking session now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not good. That's like gout, I think, isn't it?
Oh,
Something like that.
sometimes it's because I'm refuse to believe I'm highly celiac.
Okay.
Like every time I eat like gluten, any kind of wheat, my body just fucking
Really?
hates it.
If you go off it for like a couple of months, it just resets your body. If you go gluten free,
I went keto for a bit, like maybe 6 years ago for 6 months.
That's long.
Never felt better.
That was good. I did it for 3 months, I think, and I felt pretty good.
Apparently, carnivore is amazing as well.
I've got a couple of clients doing that.
Apparently, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like all of your little like inflammations in your joints and shit just disappears.
Well, it's just like resetting it, isn't it? Your body resets.
I enjoy green. I enjoy veg, especially greens like spinaches and shit. I just I wouldn't want to give them up. So I think keto kind of
it's tricky.
better for me.
I couldn't give up pizza.
That's the one that fucking gets me because I think I also have some sort of intolerance to dairy.
Oh really?
Yeah. So pizza just fucks me. So if I eat pizza, I go in knowing that it's going to be a bad day. But so that's the one, and pasta.
And you can't. Vegan cheese isn't very good.
Like, no, I'm not going to fucking.
It's pretty rubbery.
I'd rather have a bad stomach.
Have some mozzarella, buffalo mozzarella.
I'd rather just fuck myself up than dabble with vegan shit.
Yeah, I mean, like there's some good stuff now. I've had some pretty decent vegan like meat alternatives, but still you can tell. Like that Stasi & Co. Have you had that place in the city?
Oh, is that
like the kebab place?
Yeah, but they're all vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know the difference. I thought it was meat.
I believe they started off in Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
Or as a food van.
I think it was a food truck.
I've heard it's very good.
Pretty good, man.
There's that new Greek place on Hindley Street as well that apparently is really nice.
Okay.
Don's or
Maybe.
something. Does like burgers.
Cool.
But gyros.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a gyros, but it's in a pocket.
Oh, those two guys that mess around on the socials.
Yeah,
I think I've seen them.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, cool. I'll definitely give that a go.
It looks amazing. You're on Flinders Street, yeah?
Flinders, yeah.
Total private.
No, we're walk-in studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, so we've got a couple of artists that are quite new, so they just pick up the walk-ins. We've got heaps of walk-ins.
In the city, you get some interesting ones.
Yeah.
Flinders Street's not too bad.
Flinders is mainly office workers, so there's not much going on. On Saturday, it's impossible to find a coffee. There's 5 coffee shops within 100 metres of the shop, and none of them are open on Saturdays, which is frustrating. But yeah, you get like the homeless dudes hang out down there on the weekends because there's no office workers around, so they know they can just chill without getting moved on. So they hassle people a little bit, but like we don't get anyone come in.
Adelaide CBD is so cruisy compared to like Melbourne or Sydney. I used to live in Sydney and I fucking hated it.
Oh, Sydney's crazy.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Like Melbourne's a lot for me after like a week, but Sydney's just way too much.
Yeah.
The people are like always like pretty fucking rude sometimes. Like they're always in a rush. It's just a very different place. Melbourne is so... Once you understand like the logistics of how Melbourne CBD works, it's actually pretty easy to navigate.
Yeah, especially if you jump on a tram or something like that. It's pretty easy.
It's the same as Adelaide, except it's a lot bigger and it's a grid.
Yeah.
Like it's the same format-ish, but Sydney's just got no fucking structure whatsoever. Like, I know people that have lived there their whole lives that can't navigate the CBD.
Really?
Yeah.
It's confusing. There's a lot of one-way stuff.
It's all one way.
Yeah.
It's like Brisbane. Brisbane's fucking chaotic too. Brisbane's the nicest looking city in
Brisbane's
Australia.
Cool. I like it. Yeah. Brisbane's nice to visit.
That's the only place I'd move to besides Adelaide.
I reckon.
But more so Sunshine Coast, I'd say probably.
You like the tropical?
Sunshine Coast is the most pretty part of Australia, I think. Just...
Is that Noosa?
Noosa, like the hinterlands. Like, have you been to Umundi before? Oh, dude, it's just like a hippie commune. It's so nice.
Sweet.
It's so nice. Just always got cool markets and shit.
Yeah, sick.
The only thing I miss about... I haven't been to Melbourne in a year, but I usually go once a year, and I love the food culture over there.
Yeah, there's way more going on with food trucks and... Just Thornbury place has got all the food trucks set up all the time.
Everything. Just you can walk out of your apartment at 2 a.m. and you can still get just the best food you'll ever try.
Yeah. I get a lot of interstate clients. Probably about 50% of my clientele is from interstate.
Really?
Yeah. And they all love Adelaide, but they're like, once they spend a fair bit of time, they're like, oh, it's really boring actually. Well, it's nice to visit, but you probably wouldn't want to move here.
Not if you've lived in Melbourne. I think if you've lived here your whole life, you appreciate it.
Yeah.
But then if you're moving from somewhere like Sydney to Adelaide, you'd be like, what are you doing? What are you doing on a Monday?
Yeah, exactly. Or Sunday Arvo, like nothing open.
Like Kism that I did the podcast with when I picked him up from Fallen Muse the other day. I was like, I'm about 25 minutes, 30 minutes from the CBD, so I'll come pick you up and we'll come home.
Yeah.
And just by chance, it was like South Road was pretty busy, and I was like getting frustrated. He's like, "Is this traffic?" And I was like, "Yeah,
True, yeah."
He lives in Melbourne.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, "Fucking, if there's like a little bit of gridlock in Adelaide, I lose my shit because I'm not used to it."
I don't like it either. Driving, because we're Harley Cove, so it takes us about half hour in peak hour, maybe 40 minutes sometimes.
And that's too far.
Too long in the car.
But that's just like down the road. It takes fucking 40 minutes to go 9Ks in Melbourne sometimes.
Oh, man. There's traffic every hour of the day there. It's ridiculous.
And you were saying that your missus was based in...
Jade was in...
Is she currently still based there, or she's
she's
tattooing at Meiji?
Yep, she's with us. She was in Caroline Springs, which is outside the CBD of Melbourne, but still traffic everywhere. It's crazy. So, yeah, she moved here just after COVID.
Yeah.
Because she had to shut her studio down, which was a shame because it was brand new fit out and had a beautiful 8-foot fish tank in there with tropical fish and stuff.
And did she just have to take the L on it and just, or did she get any form of reimbursement?
Nah, nothing.
Nothing.
No, just took everything out. Just catch you later. Yeah, it's pretty bad. That was COVID. Like, definitely did a number on a lot of people. But
I was saying, I've said to a few people, Tattooist, besides like gym owners, Tattooist got fucked.
Yeah.
During COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you were just tattooing anyway, which a lot of people were doing.
We were doing it. Yeah, we had to because you didn't get any help from the government either. So you had to tattoo.
Yeah, I don't imagine.
You're bored, so you had nothing else to do.
Yeah,
like drink beers.
And the $700 a week they were offering probably didn't help much.
Oh, we didn't get any of that. Like nothing.
Really?
Because it's like most tattooists are self-employed, so
yeah,
they don't have an ABN. Most people either, so they couldn't register for the whatever scheme that the government was rocking.
Some people were cleaning up during COVID.
Like tradies were.
Tradies were fucking cleaning up.
Yeah, dude, plumbers and stuff like that. They were loving it.
$700 a week, still doing cashies on the side.
Wow.
Loving it.
I think a lot of businesses benefited from that with the employee stuff.
Yeah.
Like they were claiming as much as they could and making heaps of money.
I knew of people that were like fucking turning off their FPOS and just doing cash only and saying they had X amount of loss. Like, but a lot of people were doing some scheming during COVID.
Why not? I would too.
Yeah.
Like, man, you got to do something to get something back.
I wonder what the next one will be.
Bird flu.
You reckon?
Maybe.
There hasn't been that. I don't know if that will ever happen again.
Yeah, I reckon.
I don't know if something to that magnitude.
It would have to be way worse because a lot of people are tuned into it now.
The only other thing is going to be World War III eventually when that fucking does kick off. But I reckon that'll be over before it even starts.
Just drones.
Yeah, it's so easy to fucking demolish a whole city now.
Yeah, I think they'd be silly the first one to push the button though, because it would just.
There were those things happening over. Was it New Jersey? Those drones?
Oh, the drones.
The aliens?
I think they're still going on.
Are they?
Yeah, I think you just don't see much of it now.
So aliens is my one thing. That's like the hill I will die on.
Yeah.
When
you think they're legit? Or?
When people don't believe in aliens, I just get really offended.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about Project Bluebeam? You know much about that?
Was that in Australia?
No, that's the CIA operation. Where it's like projections in the sky.
No.
No.
What is this?
Look into it.
Look into it?
Yeah.
What is it called?
Project Bluebeam.
Project Bluebeam.
Yeah.
Based in CIA?
Yeah, it's like, they have these projects, black projects that they run.
Do you dabble in the aliens?
I've looked into it a fair bit, but I'm still undecided on where I stand with it.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't know exactly until I see something myself.
Do you believe in them that they haven't come here, or like would you say there's probably most likely nothing else out there?
There has to be something out there.
There has to be like something.
Yeah, of course.
See, I'm not saying that they have come here, but to believe that we're the only thing is so like I can't even fathom. Like I can't watch space documentaries because they freak me out.
Yeah, but that's all CGI. But what if it's flat Earth?
Oh, dude. Dude.
What if there's nothing out there? You never know.
Serge Monsas, Bluebird. I'm going to look into that. That looks interesting. There was a huge one in Australia.
A huge UFO?
One of the biggest UFO sightings was in Australia.
Okay. Whereabouts?
It was rural Australia, I believe. I believe it was Victoria. Rural Victoria. There was a school, and there was like 200 people or 300 people seeing the same thing.
Yeah, right.
Like hovered above a school ground for like within like 50 metres of the school ground, and hundreds of people recount the same thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like a little while ago, or
70s, I believe,
Okay.
80s.
there was one similar one in, I think it was South Africa. Where
Yes, there was.
It landed and I reckon the kids were like talking to them and shit.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I just don't know.
You don't know.
Craziest shit has happened. But
Yeah.
those drone things... So the thing with the thing in New Jersey was they were saying that there was a source saying that the weapon of mass destruction went missing.
Oh, they were looking for radioactive material.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
I just don't know about it.
I don't know how they could let them hover over the airports and shit, like, and not shoot them down, because you can't go. That's restricted airspace at an airport. So why wouldn't they shoot?
Especially in America.
Yeah,
You'd think
it's
they would
weird.
be really onto it.
It's a weird situation.
There's some fuckery going on.
Yeah,
but I
sounds
feel
strange.
like World War III will be more of a cyber attack on a country. Like China could just take down fucking
the power grid.
the power grid or whatever you want to call it. Just fucking empty accounts. Like
Yeah, it could
every country has different access of everyone's shit.
Yeah.
Like America's only banning TikTok now because they don't have access to everyone's shit. It's not.
They still would, I reckon, somewhere.
Yeah, of course they fucking have access to everything.
Creeps me out when you're talking about something and then YouTube ad like
Or
comes
on
up
your
for
phone.
Oh man, it
I don't
creeps me
know
out.
what that is, but this girl at work the other day, she goes deep into him. She gets a bit crazy over like COVID fucking ruined her.
Oh, really?
But she loves a good theory, and she's like, I really think all of our phones, like, it doesn't matter if you're near your phone, like, because if you're talking near your mate's phone, shit will pop up on your phone as well.
I heard it was like something to do with the network. If you're on the same Wi-Fi,
or
and then you search something, yours will come up on because you're on the same network, maybe. But I've definitely talked about stuff. Like me and Jade were in the lounge the other day she was talking to me about these like coffee cocktails with ice cream. And I was like, oh, that sounds delicious. Yeah, let's have one. And then the next minute, like a coffee ad on YouTube. I was like, that's creepy as.
It's I don't know how it works.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Not into it.
There is a good podcast. I can't remember his name. He's an American guy. He's got one of the best podcasts in Australia, in the world now. He had on this elite hacker. This guy who he infiltrates like pedophile rings online.
Really?
And
Yeah,
he
right.
takes them down. He's a freak of a hacker. And he was on the podcast and he was explaining how, like, you don't understand how easy it is to get information from you. Like,
Wow.
he brought this light globe, and there's these light globes that people will put in hotel rooms, and it just looks like a light globe.
Oh, it's got a little mic in it or something.
No, it connects to the internet. So
Wow.
once you connect to the hotel Wi-Fi,
Oh, okay. It pulls all your data.
it has every single bit of information on your laptop or your phone.
Jesus.
Everything.
Wow.
And he was like, there's these hackers that I watch on YouTube, and they fuck with Indian call centers, like the ones that scam people in India, like the ones that call old people and they'll rip 50 grand off them. And he infiltrates them. He gets into their CCTV. He's watching them, and he like will show them a photo of their face when they
Wow.
call him and shit.
That's cool.
It's just like you're so vulnerable as soon as you
of
get a
course.
phone, but you just got to deal with it. Like, it's just what it is.
Yeah, it sucks.
There's
but
nothing you can do.
nah.
There's nothing.
There's that phone some guys bring out. It's like unplugged phone, I think it's called.
It's like a real basic calls messages.
And it like even when you turn it off, you can press a button and the battery disconnects from the
So it's just
main
gone.
board, so it's actually impossible to hack it.
Sounds good, but I just love my phone. Like,
Yeah,
I know,
I know what you mean.
and it's especially with, like, as a tattooist, you'd be doing such a disservice to not have a social media presence.
Yeah, well, I can argue that it might be better that you don't have one sometimes as well.
As a little
More
niche,
exclusive.
Like, yeah, see, that's also another thing now. There's a big power in almost not participating in
Yeah.
any of that, because you do get that exclusivity. Like, there's heaps of cafes and holes in the wall that you'd never hear of that are so popular because they have that niche,
Yeah.
that little niche market that love that kind of thing now.
We had, Shep, the tattooist from Adelaide.
Yes.
Yeah, so I had him at my old studio working there when they were in between body art shop, moving it around. I don't know what happened. I think it was insurance, actually. Closed them down. Anyway, he came over and he was like, oh, Stu, like, I think I need to get on Instagram now. Because, like, my clients don't know where I've gone. So they couldn't find him, obviously, because they would just call the shop phone and book in. But because it's shut, like, no one could know where he went. So he was like, yeah, I think I've got to get on Instagram. I was like, all right, I'll help you set up an account. And he was like, I whipped out this like old digital camera. He's like, all my photos are on here. There's like 20,000 photos on this thing. I was like, I've got to go through them. I was like, whoa, it's going to take you a while, mate. He didn't end up doing it in the end, so just left off.
It would be so nice because it is a dirty game once you start playing the Instagram game. I hate having to like self-promote myself to people.
But it's because they change their algorithm constantly.
Yeah, and it's just like you got to talk yourself up a bit, and you got to
do those dances and stuff like that.
Yeah, or it's just you just got to fucking put yourself out there and just portray that you're actually worth listening to.
Yeah, that's true. It would be hard for this kind of industry to get people to watch because it's like heavily like interview based. I've
really just thought I'd go the hard route and just go brick by brick. Like I don't really try and get anyone too famous on. I just legitimately get people I actually want to talk to on.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to have. It's your interest, so that's what you.
I don't really poke for like clips or try and get guests to say controversial shit like on purpose, like unnaturally. Like I've had some people say some fucking wild shit on here, but I would never like poke the bear at a situation I knew was like.
Yeah, and press them for info and stuff.
Yeah, like it's a weird way to have a conversation.
You reckon those bigger ones do that?
Definitely.
Like clickbait.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like the Nelk boys, like there's a lot of big podcasts and they'll get on certain guests and they'll like poke an issue or they'll say something that they know will get like a 10-second clip out of, or like that's like me asking you who's the shittest tattoo artist in Adelaide. Like I would never do that. Like it's just there's no point in having that conversation online.
Yeah.
Well, we could, but
I can tell you if you want. Better not.
There's a lot. Would you say there is an overhyped? But that's in every industry. It's so. What do you call it? Not situational and like depends on your preference of style.
Do you mean if there's people acting like they're better than they are?
Yeah.
I think like there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah, that just lends itself once you get into these like kind of scenes, though. I find
it comes with experience. Like it depends what apprenticeship they've had. If you've had an old school apprenticeship, you're going to be taught every style, what you're comfortable with doing, and you kind of then you progress into what you gravitate towards. But some people now just like straight up into script from the start, and they don't try any other style.
Yeah,
which is cool because like
I appreciate that as well, though. Like
if they got a flair for it, then why not? You might as well like just go down that road.
Mayo dude in Melbourne.
Yeah, he's a legend.
He's fucking a freak.
Yeah, he's so cool, that guy.
He's like, I don't know how to read it, but I like it.
I think it's meant to be like that.
I don't know if he knows how to read it.
He puts like a good luck thing in each one. So it'd be like a certain sentence that he will put in every piece. As like I don't know what it is.
I really, really, really want one of his originals, but I just know I know I would not be able to afford it, really.
Yeah, we did a paint swap.
I know, oh fuck.
We're doing a couple of collab prints this year.
Oh, that would be that would be a cool tattoo collab even.
Yeah, true.
That would be a fun collab.
Yeah, we're doing a couple of prints, I think, coming up.
That'd be cool.
It's good to like work with people that are a different style because you come up with some pretty cool stuff.
Ben Lucas did a dope piece in Fallen Muse. He did their back wall.
Oh yeah,
in Mayo's kind of style.
Yeah, I think Mayo's the only one that's got it down.
He's very good.
You can replicate, but it's never come close.
Can't. Nah, he's very, very good at it.
Yeah, he's just developed his style over so many years of just like working. He works so hard, that guy.
It's so much symmetry. Like people look at it and they're like, "Oh, I could do that." It's not. No, you can't. Like you can't do it.
It's just say give it a go, and then you'll find out how hard it is. It's the same with anything, really. That tattooing.
Script's a weird one because I've seen a lot of people that dedicate a whole limb to script.
Have you seen Sam Taylor's stuff?
No.
He does script. I think he's in Sydney now, but he does like the whole leg script. It looks so cool.
It's one of those things. It has to be done by the right person.
Yeah, for sure.
It has to.
He does like ornate style looking. So you do like a whole sentence down the whole leg, and it'll be like each word will be a different
like three
style.
different fonts. Yeah,
yeah, like even 6 different fonts.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like a piece of art. This thing is crazy.
That's cool. But like when you get with script, there's nowhere to fucking hide.
Nah, not really.
It's like a neo-trad tattoo. There's not much that's hiding blemishes.
Yeah, it's just line work.
It needs to, like, with Radham's style, he could probably stuff up a little part of it and then fix it. But you're not fixing any of, like, a neo-trad tattoo. If you do a line crooked, you're fucked.
Well, it depends how good you are to hide it. I stuff stuff up all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got to get good at hiding things.
How would you hide like a fucked line?
Depends where it is.
Shade.
You make it into something else.
Yeah.
You just make it up as you go. Yeah. If you put, I mean, there's certain things. If you put a line wrong in like a face or something, that's impossible. Well, you just put a moustache on it or something. But
I've seen someone spell something wrong once.
yeah, it's happened. I've done it before.
Really?
Yeah, very long time ago.
Name or word?
It was a word. I think it was guilty, and I got the U and the I around the wrong way.
No way.
Yeah, but I just
That's an easy fix.
Yeah, like what I did was I got him straight back in after we tattooed it, and I just like hammered it with Dettol, like coloured it in with Dettol, and I was like, as soon as it scabs up, just pick it.
And it came out?
Came straight out. Yeah,
Yeah, for real?
and then I just did the right way around.
Really?
Yeah, if you get it early enough, you can fix it pretty easy.
Really?
Yeah.
And it just scabs up enough to pick off?
Yeah, so you just like colour it in with Dettol like really hard.
So
like,
does it almost infect?
Oh, you want to try and not get infected, but
Yeah.
you want to get to that point where it's like a little bit scabby, and you can just kind of pick it out.
I've only ever had one infected tattoo once, and it was fucking horrible.
Yeah, I've had it before. It's not good.
My hip.
Really?
Yeah,
Ooh.
right on the hip line, like where the waistband line.
Okay.
And this tattooist was very fucking rough, and I'm pretty sure she was on crack. But she
Ooh.
was like, it was not. It's just a rose. But like, I remember it when it was getting. I've never had an infected tattoo before,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, it's kind of following the same process. It's a bit crusty, but not freaking out yet. And I remember I woke up the next day and I felt like physically, physically ill.
That's a bad one. If
Yeah.
you feel ill from it,
I
yeah.
felt like I had fucking blood poisoning. I was
Jesus.
fucked.
You might have had like staph infection. Or something.
I've had staph once, not from a tattoo, but I had staph on my head. But getting staph in a tattoo would be fucking horrendous.
I've had something similar by an artist that was not that experienced, and he did my knee, and I think he was using dirty equipment as well. Gave me something, and he went hard on it, and he used like, have you heard of that Vaseline stuff?
Yeah.
It's like the blue spray.
Yeah.
So he used that about 6 or 7 times, and that stuff's 10% lidocaine, so it's really bad for you. And he just gave me a chemical burn, and I ended up in hospital for like 2 days on a drip.
Oh, dude.
Man, and it took like 6 months for my knee to heal.
Is the most common, like, bar the client not looking after it correctly, is the most common form to, like, sort of infection overworking?
Yeah, I reckon. You can tell when something's been overworked instantly. Well, the client might not be able to tell, but we can definitely tell.
Do people do that for better like, does it come up better in pictures? Because I see, I've heard of I won't say his name, I'll tell you off camera, but there's a couple really good tattoo artists with like 100,000 followers, etc. And their tattoos look impeccable in the picture.
Yeah.
But they're fucking butchers.
In real life, they look way different.
Or they scar and they fucking get they're
That's just-
very, very
yeah.
prone to infection because they overwork them on.
They've just too much work in one area. I mean, they spend too long getting... It's just for the picture, as you said.
Yeah, just for the picture.
And there was an Instagram page getting around called Tattoo Truth Fairy for a while. I don't know if you ever saw that. It was posting healed photos of these people that do these oversaturated pictures all the time.
Is it still around?
You can have a look. I don't know. I think it's gone, but...
I'd love to
Man.
see some of these tattoos healed.
There were some big names on there as well, like, and the filters they would use on the fresh tattoo, and then you'd see it by the client would send a photo in, and it's like unrecognizable, different.
So one of my favourite tattoo art online, anyway, is this guy called Audrey. He's from France.
Okay.
I'll show you his work. I was talking to Kism, and Kism knows him, like, doesn't know him, but he's seen his work, he's familiar with it. He's like, yeah, his work's fucking dope, but
Yeah.
I would love to see a healed picture because it's so busy. Like, he works his tattoos so much that I don't think it's feasible for it to actually be fucking normal once it's
I mean,
healed.
you can get, once you tattoo long enough, you can get to know the limits of the skin, so you can definitely push it pretty hard, but you can easily overwork stuff if you don't know what you're doing.
I'll find it. I'll find it for you off camera if I can never spell his name. But he does like these really, really elaborate skulls, and he has like massive saturations of like blues and heaps of color work. But he'll have like a whole thigh piece of a skull, and he did one where it was a Courage the Cowardly Dog theme. So there's like Courage the Cowardly Dog scenarios all within the skull in color.
Yeah.
But he has one with Super Mario as well. So he has a skull, and it's got all these like a realism skull with all these elements of Super Mario. Like he'll have the ladders going in and out of the bone, and like Donkey Kong up the top. It's very cool, but there's so many fine details within it. It would just kind of
I know what you mean. It's hard to see how that would heal properly.
You'd have to stand so far. Like if you stood close, you'd have to stand so close to it. Like once it's healed, to actually appreciate it, probably. Because when you're standing far away, it just looks like a fucking mess.
Yeah, there's too much going on. Yeah, that's the good thing about Japanese style is you can like look across the street and you can see exactly what it is.
Yeah,
because it's so bold and big. That's what I like about it the most, I think.
Yeah. Do you have like an understanding for all, because Japanese tattoos do all like have like a kind of meaning to them, don't they?
I don't do traditional at all. I wish I could learn traditional Japanese, but it's just my
your take on traditional.
So it's not traditional by any means.
So you're not heaps familiar with like traditional like
I have
Japanese.
Like understanding of the elements and the stories of things and what flowers should go with what and stuff like that, but to learn traditional you have to obviously learn from the masters. But
it's a very different style of tattooing, eh? Once you start tattooing for like traditional reasons.
And like I found with Japanese, you start focusing more on stuff that you don't usually focus on, like background. It's like a good background makes the piece. So if you spend a lot of time, people just mainly spend a lot of time on the image itself, but forget the background. But once you focus more on the background, and it kind of complements the piece. So I end up spending a lot more time on backgrounds now as well.
Have you seen that documentary? I watched it on YouTube years ago. It's fucking fantastic. It was on Yakuza tattoos.
There's a bunch out there.
The Mark of...
No, I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, it's like a 45-hour long doco.
45 hours?
No. Minutes, sorry.
Okay.
45 minutes to an hour doco.
Yeah, okay.
I believe it's called the Mark of Yakuza.
Okay, I'll look for it.
And it's just all about the bamboo tattooing. And
tabori.
Oh, it looks so painstakingly fucked.
I think...
such a slow process.
Man, if the masters, when they do it, they're quick as...
They're quick, but it's not as quick as a fucking gun.
Well, gun.
It's not as quick as a tattoo machine.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not as quick. And it's... To do your whole body... Like with the, what did you call it when they're
moonwari,
so they can't show within a kimono. I don't know. You'd know better than me. Is that why they do it? So it's not visible.
Yeah, there's a couple of different reasons. I think. Yeah, so you can wear the kimono and you're still covered.
I actually really like that. I like the aesthetic of that and then stopping at the. It's so normal to get. Sick. It's so normal to get your hands done now, but there is with Japanese tattoos, it does look nice when it stops at your
even
wrist.
if it's just a little bit higher, like 3/4.
Yeah,
it looks cool.
It does look nice.
If I did mine again, I would probably do that. I'd
really?
Keep it all. Yeah, just under wraps.
That would probably be really effective with my left arm, to leave my hand, because it would look so out of place because my whole body's done.
Yeah. Just leave your hand for later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when that, like with the doco, these dudes will spend like 6 years getting their whole body done.
Oh, dude,
but they'll go in weekly.
And usually with the Yakuza stuff, they don't get to pick their
no, they don't
what
pick.
They get tattooed.
The artist picks it for them.
Depends on their ranking and stuff like that.
A lot of just if you even non-Yakuza members, like the artist will generally pick your tattoo, and they don't use traditional inks. They make their ink.
Yeah, the sumi they crush it up.
Yeah, it's much cool. Like calligraphy ink.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Same kind of thing. It was just carbon. So
yeah,
it's the same thing that dudes do in prison when they do prison tats.
Have you ever had you've never had like that kind of tattoo?
Prison tat?
Like with a...
Oh, like a tabori?
Yeah.
No. I would like to.
I had a cousin that had one of his legs, like he has a snake running up his leg done. I think he got it done in Thailand or something though.
Okay.
Because they do for Muay Thai fighters and shit. They do a similar thing.
Similar. I think it's more like a pen looking.
It's a big stick pen thing.
Yeah. And you usually get it in like the temple.
Yeah. Apparently they suck to get done.
Yeah, right.
Just fucking rub it in metho and just boom. And
then you're in the heat and everything as well after getting tattooed. That's what I don't get.
People love Thailand tattoos.
And Bali.
People love Thailand. I'm actually a part of a page, Bali tattoos like gone wild.
Oh, really?
And it's some of it.
Some of the tattoos have gone wrong?
Oh, no, like just they haven't gone to the right tattooist. Oh, okay. And it's just fucking terrible tattoos. Bali does have good they're good at what they do. grind. They're trying to fucking make money. They're tattooing 4 times a day, 7 days a week.
Of course.
Like, they're going to be good, and they're very fast. Like, if you just want a massive chunk of your body covered, and I don't know how cheap it is. Apparently, the price has gone up. It has gone up. So I think you are still paying $800 to $1,000 a day, plus flights, plus accommodation. Probably works out the same.
Plus hospital bill when you get back.
Yeah.
From trying to wash it in the water.
Oh,
that's dodgy.
Man. I don't know. They just blast ungodly like amounts. Like I've seen people go and get fucking 2 sleeves done in a week.
Yeah, but a lot of that's just grey.
It's
like
grey.
Gradients, big areas of grey.
Yeah.
And then once it's healed, it's disappeared.
And it's a line. There's usually a line involved, or a crown and a skull.
And the blue eye.
There's always a blue eye. There's always a fucking blue or a clock. They like
the brown eye.
They like clocks.
Yeah, they do.
They love clocks.
The special, the Bali special. But I've seen some real good tattoos from Bali.
Yeah, that's what I was. There is genuinely really fucking good. There's actually one in. I don't know if he's from Bali. I know he's in Indonesia. Mm-hmm. I follow him, and he comes to Australia sometimes, and he's phenomenal. I forgot his name though, but he does like realism. It's like Bali tattoos, but on a very, very, very high end scale.
Okay. There's a couple of guys doing real good American traditional over there as well. I forget what studio they're at, but in COVID they had nothing else to do, but they just practiced. And they got real good at it. And I've seen them healed. They're really good.
Do you have like an opinion on numbing creams and stuff?
It's a tricky subject.
Every tattooist says something different.
If we don't like people using it at all.
I don't agree. Paul Booth called me a dickhead on YouTube.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's an honour.
That's what Kism said as well. I've met him once.
Oh, yeah.
I met him at Rites of Passage. The Rites of Passage festival I went to, me, BJ,
I remember
and
the
all
one.
that.
Yeah, I worked the same one.
We all went out after with Nico Hurtado and all that. We ended up at a hotel room with Paul Booth and all that. He wouldn't remember. I was just dude in the background just drinking. I wasn't a tattooist.
Yeah.
And me and Aaron Shermer were talking about numbing cream, and I just said if you can't get the tattoo unless you have some sort of reasoning where you actually need to use the numbing cream, I just don't think you should get the tattoo if you can't handle it, because it does a disservice to the artist if the numbing cream fucks the tattoo.
Yeah.
And he's like, called me a dickhead and he said, what do you know? And I said, well, I've been tattooed more than fucking most tattooists. Like, I know.
Yeah.
I know, but I imagine it stops I don't know. I've just heard it ruins the healing. It can ruin the healing process. It can ruin the actual tattooing process.
Yeah, it depends where you get it from. I mean, if you get the Chinese stuff off eBay that has no ingredients in it, then you're bound to have a problem. We've had people buy just no brand stuff off eBay and just using it, and it smells weird, and it's like, man, you shouldn't be putting that on your body for one, and then opening the skin up with it around it. I mean, you wipe it off first, but some people have this one where you put it on during as well. There's another cream that you can reapply, and I'm like, man, that's not good. If people need to use it, we have a doctor who's a client of mine that will prescribe like pharmacist grade numbing cream, and it gets made in a compound chemist. But like regular stuff, we won't touch.
Yeah,
it's too risky.
Well, it's just I don't think people understand that when it wears off, it's gonna fucking hurt more.
Yeah.
Like, I've never used it, but I imagine in my head, if you are dulling this pain for fucking 4 hours...
and then it hits you all of a sudden.
When it hits you all of a sudden, your body's going to be like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's going to go into overdrive and try and heal so quickly, it's going to fuck you. And,
like, as you said, the process of it as well, using it while it's on, like, it does something weird with the skin, and you can't... If you're lining, it swells up like a ridge, and then you can't get up close to it to shade. It's so weird, and
so there'll be like a minute gap in between.
Yeah, because you physically can't get close to it, and it will like make the skin like rubbery and grippy, and it's just horrible to work with. And then the healing is bad.
Like those people that go under anesthesia.
See, that
now?
guy died this week.
Which one? He died.
Yeah, some Brazilian influencer. He went under, and he had a reaction to the anesthetic, and he went into cardiac arrest before they started tattooing. He's gone. Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Stupid games, man.
It was bound to happen eventually.
I thought it would have been from shock afterwards.
No, they didn't even start tattooing yet. Right. So he was allergic to the anesthetic.
That's so fucking upsetting.
Yeah.
Fuck, poor dude.
I know, yeah, and he was only a young dude, I think.
That's a shame. Those things, have to be so bad for your body. Like, I saw that soccer player, he fucking went under and got 6 dudes to give him a fucking bodysuit, essentially.
It's crazy.
Did both of his arms, his back, and his legs.
Imagine coming out and your body's like, what is going on?
That's what I don't understand. Like, what measures do they take afterwards?
I'm sure they would stay there for a bit to get monitored so they wouldn't go into shock or something, but...
The physical fucking agony of waking up and your whole... Like, imagine... The healing process for me is the worst part of a tattoo. Like, the next 3 days, I don't want to speak to anyone. I'm so mentally drained after a tattoo. Just... Because you're talking in the studio as well. It's like the whole process of it. It's not just the tattoo. Like, you're talking to the artist. Someone walks past, you're talking to them. You got your headphones in. You're fucking trying to eat as much sugar. Like, I don't know about other people, but I'm not a sweet tooth, but I'll eat like 2 packets of lollies during a tattoo.
You got to keep your sugar up.
And it's just, when I come home, I always just fucking crash.
Yeah, imagine being under and coming out with it all done. Yeah, it'd be next level.
And then you got to fucking rub cream on it all.
Yep. Well, use the bamboo goo.
Use the bamboo goo.
Yeah,
shout out. So is this for sale on your website?
Bamboo goo website has its
Bamboo
own
Goo has its own website.
So that's my partner's aftercare company. So she does that on the side.
Out.
Yep, it's real good stuff.
I like that.
All natural.
I was going to say I like that I can actually read all of the ingredients.
Yeah, some places don't put any ingredients on it, which is pretty bad.
Sativa.
It's a bamboo-based one.
Really?
So hence the name Bamboo Goo.
Smells nice.
It's good, and we formulated it ourselves, even just to use that on our own. But then our clients were loving it so much, we said, "Oh, we'll just make it, try and sell to other people," and it cuts the healing time by half sometimes.
Dude, a good cream. But do you know what? I'm not even going to shit on Bepanthen. Bepanthen's worked for me with all my tattoos.
Oh, it was a classic. It's go-to, wasn't it?
It just works. It probably doesn't fucking help with healing, but it just works. Well,
it creates a barrier, which shouldn't be. Like, it's the opposite you need for healing.
Well, it's weird. I've always healed my tattoos so differently to everyone I know, but I heal very well. I've never healed badly, and I heal very quick. But what I used to do is as soon as I finished the tattoo, I'd obviously have it wrapped.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go home, have a shower, and I would let it just air out till I went to bed. But I used to always sleep with my tattoos. I used to lather my arm in, or whatever. I used to lather it in a cream.
Yep.
And then I used to wrap it and let it sweat.
Okay.
And I found that it mitigated the scabbing process.
Like every night or just the first night?
Every 4 nights.
Okay, that's a long time now.
Because I felt like the sweat really made the scabbing process not a thing, because it was so moist all the time. But that also could breed bacteria, so it's a real fucking roll of the dice.
It's a tricky one.
Like, you got to keep it clean.
You do have to keep it clean.
If you're going to do that, it has to be very, very clean.
And
so
not on the work site or something like that.
Yeah, and at the shop, always wrapped.
Yeah.
Like, my tattoo did not fucking see air for a week. Always. But that's just how I did it. And then
everyone's different.
How do you recommend to people?
Similar. It depends on
do you use second skin?
Nah.
See, I went to Jaden. When I went to Jaden, I was like, is there anything new? Because I hadn't been tattooed in fucking 8 years, almost a decade. I was like, how would you recommend I do this? And he has like this body armor shit that he...
Oh, yeah, I've seen that stuff.
It's like a puppy pad, like a wee pad for a puppy. You put that on. It's nice. It's like, gives it a breeze and shit. And he goes, just wear this, dude, for 4 days and you'll be sweet. It was, and my tattoo...
The same one?
No, different ones. Change it every day. But that healed perfectly. Nice. But obviously rub cream every day as well. But that healed perfectly. But I said, should I use second skin? He's like, if you've never used it, don't. Because some people have such adverse reactions to it.
It's the adhesive in the plastic.
Okay.
I tried it once and I got it.
You got a reaction from it?
Yeah.
I can see why it would work. Like, on some people, it looks like it's pretty like a hassle-free way to look after a tattoo.
It's good for small stuff like little
banger,
little one on your arm or something, where you can put that shit on and not worry about it, go to work and all that stuff.
So how do you recommend people would heal their tattoos appropriately?
If it's just like the first session, which is usually just line work, it's pretty good. You don't have to really do much with it. You just kind of keep it clean and wash it. And I usually don't say don't wrap it at all. But then when it comes to like color and background and stuff like that, probably like wrap the first night, keep it clean, and then just use the bamboo goo afterwards the second day.
I've never had a tattoo where I've just had lining ever.
Yeah, right.
I've never walked out of a parlour with an unfinished tattoo.
It's nice. You just sit there till it's done.
I'll fucking will sit there for 15 hours if I have to.
Damn.
I hate walking around with. Back in the day though, tattooists were a lot slower and stuff. But I've sat some fucking big sessions before.
That's a long time to get tattooed.
Besides this was like as unfinished as a tattoo as I've had.
Yeah.
But it's still finished. But I just don't know how people can walk around with like a stencil on their back for fucking 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, like people have their limits, obviously, of how much they can sit.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't want a tattoo for 10 or 15 hours straight. That's ridiculous.
Oh, whoever says tattooing doesn't fucking hurt as well as lying. Like tattoos suck. It's just the end result is so rewarding that I can just bring myself to just accept how much it sucks.
But if you want something so bad, you're going to go through anything to get it, aren't you?
Yeah, but when people say, "Oh, tattoos fucking," like I've had tattoos that hurt way less. Like, and I find it's all about how you have to sit. That really sucks for a tattoo.
Yeah.
Like if you're in an awkward position, like some parts of the leg are really awkward to sit.
Legs
like,
are tricky.
Inner thigh sucks.
Yeah.
Just because it's actually strenuous on your actual groin.
Oh, yeah.
Like outside of the legs, so nice.
Well, your lymph node's in your groin anyway, so it's during the process, it's trying to filter it out. So that's what hurts as well.
It's weird as when you get tattooed on like certain parts of your body, like your collarbone will hurt, or like it's so weird.
Or your butthole because you're clenching.
Oh,
the whole time.
My ass was the worst tattoo I've ever had. My ass was 1,000% the worst tattoo I've ever sat in my life.
I didn't find it too bad.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
I just went into that tattoo thinking it would be so easy. I just thought, it's fucking gonna be sit on your stomach and easy, but it was the fucking worst. You got to wrap your toilet after. And
True.
It's a very, very weird tattoo to heal.
And the butt's got like a mind of its own. It's got its own brain. It will just kind of move around on its own.
Yeah, it switches.
It's just like, it's weird when you're tattooing them.
Do you have full back?
Yep.
You got a lot of tattoos.
Yeah, I've got rid of a lot as well and redone them.
With the laser.
With the laser, yeah.
Available at your parlour.
Yeah, I own the Tattoo Removal Co., which is the partner business to Meiji. And the laser's been going for, I reckon, nearly 10 years. I've had that.
So you were one of the early adopters of it. I went to Port Adelaide when I got mine, but I got mine about a decade ago, I believe.
Yeah, so it was me and...
Laser Tap,
yeah, so it was us two that were the first ones that were open.
You all have different machines, yeah?
Yeah, it depends how much you spend.
They all do the same thing?
No, there's different lasers for different colours. Well, there was back then when we first started. You could, if you wanted to remove blue, you had to get a whole new laser.
Really?
For blue, yeah. But now you have like the Pico machine, the Pico second ones, which do all colours in one machine. But they're like $250,000.
I was going to say they're not cheap fucking machines.
No, they're not. But the more you spend, like you can spend 10 grand and get like a Chinese laser. But you can maybe get some good results, but chances are that it's going to die after a certain amount of hits anyway.
Is the lasering very busy?
Yeah, it's busy as.
I was going to say so many people would be getting laser.
It's completely different demographic to the tattoo people. Like it's usually like middle-aged women that have like a ex's name or something. It's mainly names and stuff. Yeah, they want to get rid of ex's name, or like we have also a high percentage of clients that want to make room for new stuff. So I get a bunch of clients that want to get a sleeve, but they've got like this little thing here in the way. Go get a couple of laser hits and make it easy to cover.
I'd love to do a pass on the whole of my fucking torso.
Really? Why?
Because I want a new...
Oh, you want to start again?
I want a new torso tattoo. I just don't know how many sessions I'd need.
Black and grey obviously comes out quicker, but... Oh, dude, man, that'll come out so fast.
You reckon?
I reckon one hit.
It's not hell heavy.
One hit, man.
One?
I reckon. With ours, yeah, for sure. Phil goes hard.
And ribs?
Yeah. A whole lot, mate.
Dude. Whoa, how much is a session?
Depends on like how big the piece is. But with stuff like that, because you can't obviously do your whole front in one hit.
You do it in panels.
You do it in like A4 parts, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially being near the heart, like you got to be real careful because it puts a lot of pressure.
So yeah, when I got my back, I just found it, like we was talking before, it feels like an oil burn, which I'm so used to, but the healing is pretty wild. Like it feels like bad sunburn.
You kind of can't tell people what it's like healing before they do it because they'll put them off.
Yeah, it feels like the worst sunburn you've ever had.
Yeah, and some people blister.
I didn't blister.
That's good. Some people do. I did. When I would get laser, I would blister.
I imagine for fairer skin people, Like for fairer skinned people, it would be substantially worse.
You got to be careful. There's like, it's called the Fitzpatrick scale, which is like, it determines the skin type. So you got 1 to 6. So 1 being like Norwegian redhead, and then 6 being like African. And you got to be real careful of which skin type that you laser, because some skin types can hyperpigment, which makes it darker, and some hypopigment, which makes it lighter.
Yeah.
So like you can
actually physically change people's skin.
So you can laser a tattoo off, and then it will make the skin go brown. So you still see the tattoo, but it'll be like a brown mark kind of thing.
Interesting.
It's crazy. When you delve into the skin stuff, it's pretty wild.
You would not be able to tattoo anyone at a certain level of darkness, hey?
Yeah, you can tattoo anyone.
But like, would your tattoos lend well to like really darker type skins?
You got to, obviously you can't use certain like colors. Obviously they won't come out. Like you can do black ink. It still looks good.
Yeah. On like the darker skin, obviously being like maybe like a Sudanese type skin.
I've done it before.
You have done it.
Yeah.
And how do you navigate that?
Same process, but like the stencil, obviously it's really hard to see the stencil, because like on white skin it's purple.
I was going to say on like a darker skin, you can't change the color of the stencil though at all, can you? There's no way.
No, you can't do it like a white stencil.
Yeah, there's no way.
No. I mean, you can maybe use like a white, like the makeup pencil.
Yeah.
Maybe you could use that. I've never tried, but it's still the same process.
Do the colors saturate in? How do you use a different color palette? Obviously.
Yeah, you got to adapt to the skin tone.
Like would the yellows and stuff obviously be more of?
You wouldn't be able to use yellow.
Really?
No, you can use red. Comes out as like red. Blue wouldn't either. Wouldn't come out. It's just you got to stick to just black, heavy black. Yeah.
And do you change your color palette depending on people's skin tones as well?
Yeah, of course.
Like with mine's not that dark.
But you got like olive skin tones, so some colors still won't look as good as they would on.
Like what would you use on my arm if you
like more warm colors?
Yeah.
Like not much like light blue. I mean, it won't have its full potential look, but that green on your shoulder there looks pretty green.
That green is good, but I do like these yellows.
Yeah, all those colors would be the best.
Purples.
Purple's a tricky one.
Purple is.
Yeah, really hard color to use.
You never see many people saturate heaps of purple.
Because it's hard to use.
But it would
really
be
hard.
I actually don't think I've ever seen anyone. Oh, besides in backgrounds, I've seen people use it in backgrounds where they can just smash it in.
You do like little bits here and there of purple, but I haven't seen many.
And blues, you don't really see heaps of like.
Until you go to like European countries, they have heaps of like blue skin and like real bright color. Because it's like the skin tone's different. The sun hasn't obliterated it. It's not like leather.
Do you have any more room for tattoos?
Yeah, I got.
Are you going to go up to your head eventually?
I got my head done already.
You do?
Yeah. It pokes out like a little bit on the sides, but I'm not in a rush to get tattooed, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have your legs?
Yeah.
So you got pretty much full bodysuit?
Well, kind of. But I've as I said, I've had a lot of laser, so I've lasered both arms and both legs.
And you got them redone?
Yeah. This one, you can see like the old tattoos under here. But I'll probably think about lasering this one again. Starting again, yeah. Because I got this like awesome tattoo, and I'm like, I want to match.
Does it diminish like the quality of your skin eventually?
Yeah. And if you go too hard, it can scar pretty bad.
I was going to say.
Like down here, you see that scar there?
Yeah.
That's from laser.
Yeah, right.
Like if you're not careful.
And then I just imagine tattooing the laser, because I don't know, is it actually getting rid of the ink or just the visible ink?
So what it does is the laser will target the ink particle, and it heats it up from the inside, and it blows it apart. And then your lymphatic system carries it through your body and filters it out like in your pee and your sweat.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how the hell people figured this shit out, but...
It'll only get better too.
I don't know if it will get better. Like, the technology's been the same for a while. Like, laser's been around like since the 80s. Like, the guys in like the lab coats were doing it back then. There's some pretty cool old videos you can look up of laser, but...
Who does the laser at your parlour?
My brother, Phil.
Your brother?
Yeah.
And was he a tattooist?
He tried.
He tried?
He's no good. But he loves the industry so much that he wanted to be a part of it.
Is there a course you can take to do this?
You have to do a course for laser safety training. Like, every state's got its different law.
Interesting.
So in WA, you have to be a licensed nurse or a doctor to do laser.
What course is it?
Like where to go?
Like, is it a TAFE or TAFE degree?
Yeah, it's a TAFE. Like, it depends what state. So SA, you only need safety training, which is a 2-day course.
I reckon I'd actually want to do that.
Laser?
Well, I love the industry, but I'm not artistic.
It's cool. It's good to get into because then you're still around it, and you're working with people all the time, and
interesting.
it's good fun. We can talk about it more if you want.
That'd be a cool little. It'd be cool to. I've got this YouTube series in mind where I try different jobs. I want to release one video a month where I try just going into workplaces and just fucking around.
Yeah.
And making vlogs of it.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to start off because I'm an ex-chef. I'm going to do some stint, like I'm going to do a takeover night at some of Adelaide's like best restaurants and just do a shift in the kitchen and record it.
Yeah, nice.
But I thought
like a GoPro on or something.
No, I got a vlog camera. I got a specific camera for vlogging, and I was thinking it'd be funny to go do like a shift at a farm, a shift here, a shift there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But yeah,
you should get Phil on here to talk about laser.
It would actually be interesting to talk about it.
He loves talking.
He does.
Well. Yeah, he's funny.
Does he run does the laser tattoo removal have a separate entity, separate Instagram from the actual parlour?
Yeah, the Tattoo Removal Co.
Tattoo Removal Co. I'll add him after this.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd be good to have a chat to because he's got some pretty funny stories.
It'd be interesting even to vlog getting fucking laser.
Oh, yeah? If you... Yeah.
A lot of people, I think, have a misconception of laser. It does suck, but it's not as terrifying. I personally think a tattoo hurts more.
And people are scared off by the cost. For some reason, they think it's really expensive. I don't know why, but it's not.
Do you know how much he would charge for like a...
his minimum is like $100.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you have like a tiny name on your body like this big, do not worry. It's fucking going to heal It's when you start probably getting into like the A4 pieces that it's going to start sucking.
But even then, like, everyone heals different. Same with tattoos. So some people... 1-2 laser sessions and something's completely disappeared. Whereas some people it won't make a dent. Yeah, it's all to do with the person.
And the ink, I imagine.
The ink, like the way it's the technique of the way it's been tattooed.
I have heard jail tattoos surprisingly are hard to get out.
Yeah, I don't know if he's probably has lasered them as well.
I'd have to talk to him obviously about it.
Because he's lasered every single person.
I'm not sure if it's because of what they use. Like they use fucking
They melt down the thong.
They melt down thongs and shit. I don't know how good that is for you in general.
Well, it's just carbon, so it's the same as what ink is anyway. It's just carbon.
Yeah, I mean,
like I've heard people will burn, like get a candle and put alfoil on top of it and get the soot and mix it with baby oil.
I watched this little mini 20-minute doco on YouTube the other day of how they make the best calligraphy ink in the world, and there's only like one guy in Japan. And he does it the same way. Obviously, in Japan, they do everything the same way for generations. But it's collecting soot.
Yeah.
And it'll take, like, thousands of candles just to make this perfect little bar of calligraphy ink.
That's so cool.
It's so cool. That's one thing the one thing about Japan that I didn't realise that I'd love the most, but that was my favourite thing about Japan. Walking into, like, a izakaya, which is their pubs, and it'll be like an 8-seater. Yeah, and I remember I was talking to this... I had like this salaryman next to me and he could speak English. And there was only 6 of us smoking and drinking in this little izakaya. And he was translating for me.
Oh, nice, yeah.
It was so cool. And I was talking to this old lady and she was like 6th generation. This has been in this 400 years or something. This little izakaya has been there. You'd never even guess it. Yeah. But that's normal over there.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's same dishes, They had like the bottles of sake... But they had 2-litre bottles and they were clay bottles with little plugs in them.
Nice.
And they had all of their regulars' names on them. So you buy the bottle and whenever you come, you just grab your bottle and you start. And when you empty your bottle, you give them X amount of dollars and they fill it up again. And that's how you drink there.
Well, like the UK is kind of like that. I used to work in pubs back there as well before I was tattooing. And you get like your regulars like every day the same time will come in. Some of them have their own cup. Yeah. Like you get their cup off the shelf and you fill it up before they get in because you know exactly what time they're coming.
Do you miss the UK?
Yes, like elements of it.
Do you go back?
Yeah, I'm going back in March.
Tattooing or leisure?
So I'm doing a convention in Frankfurt.
Yeah.
The Gods of Ink is the big one. So that's in March, and I'll go see my dad because he's there.
He lives over there?
Yeah. But yeah, it's cool. Like there's certain things about the UK that's good. Like social stuff is really good. You know, there's the drinking, the social atmosphere is completely different to here. Like there's like 6 pubs in one street.
London would be a wild place.
London's crazy. It's changed.
Where were you based in the UK?
I was in a town called Whitstable, which was on the coast of. It's like southeast coast, like a little seaside town.
Where would the nearest big town be?
There's Canterbury, which was like pretty close. Yeah, so that was like a uni town.
Yeah.
But even still, that was only like a 1 kilometre squared village. It was still a village. Had a 1,000-year-old cathedral there.
No
pretty
shit.
Cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like the history is crazy over there.
That's probably one of the coolest things about being a tattooist. If you have your like head screwed on right and you're doing it the right way, you can see a lot of the world.
Yeah, you can just work anywhere. It's the same. You don't even need to speak language. You can just go and tattoo.
It's hard getting visas, or do you just kind of try and navigate that by not getting them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like America's the hardest.
Because apparently America just don't let you in if you're going to tattoo.
I got interrogated the last time I went there because we were doing a show in Puerto Rico, a tattoo convention there, and we had to fly through Dallas, I think it was, and my mate who flew the week before, he had already gone through and he got pulled up in customs. And he was like, "Oh, do not take anything in your bag because they have your name ready to pull you in when you get here." I was like, "Oh shit!" So I don't know how they got the name of why we were tattooing, but yeah, they pulled us in with like all the little Mexican dudes in the airport security customs thing, interrogation room, sat us there for like a couple of hours and. Yeah, just kind of like tried to get it out of us that we were tattooing, and we were like, no, not tattooing here, just visiting. And they were like, okay. Just trying to trip you up constantly.
It's so weird that it's like still such a frowned upon industry.
Like, I think it's because you can make a lot of money over there and not pay tax. You know, they don't get their cut. So.
See, in fucking Vegas, if you win over 1,000, so on a pokey machine, I think it's like 1,200 USD. If you win over that, the attendant has to come and pay you.
Yeah, okay.
They take 600 straight out of it. Or they take 50 cents to the dollar.
What do you mean, like tax?
Tax.
What? Wait, like for visitors or for anyone?
Visitors.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you're Australian and you go to Vegas and say you hit on a pokey machine, you're better off taking the fucking money out before it. Like, you're better off not. They know. Or you're better off not winning more than 1,200 at a time. Like, as soon as you win 1,000, because if you win $1,200, they'll come to the machine. And they'll take the 50%.
What if you won $1 million?
500 grand's theirs.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, I don't know if there's ways to navigate around it or not.
There probably would be.
There would be, but yeah, if you're just gambling like normal amounts of dollars and stuff, they take 50 cents to the dollar over there.
Crazy.
And then I imagine when you get back to Australia, because there's a gambling tax in Australia now.
Well, you can only take 10 grand cash in anyway to the country.
10?
Yeah.
Interesting. Do they?
I don't check.
I was going to say, can you navigate that by buying gold or something?
Well, even then you got to declare it and it's worth this much. Yeah, they'll still tax you. But I'm pretty sure they have sniffer dogs and sniffer cash now as well.
Even cigarettes, you can only bring back 20 individual cigarettes.
How do these people get around selling these black market ciggies? I've heard about these, like the shops selling real cheap.
They grow. There's like tobacco farms and shit in Melbourne now.
It's really? So they grow it.
It's all run by bikies and like mafia like heads, or if you would want to call them that. It's the tobacco wars. It's a massive thing at the moment. It's terrible.
Wow.
People are like fucking dying.
I've heard there's some fire bombings.
Everywhere. There's 2 major families, I believe, that are at like a massive war because it's more profitable than the meth industry now.
Jesus.
Because the tax on I don't know if you've ever been a smoker. But
a long time ago.
How do you remember how much you were paying for a pack of cigarettes?
No, not as much as they are now. Man, I can't believe how much they are.
$50.
Jesus.
This here, $50 even.
Worth it?
No. Worst thing I ever did was start smoking.
Yeah.
Because it's the hardest thing I found to kick.
Have you vaped? You a vapist?
Vaping is so much worse for you, I feel.
Yeah.
Because you can do it everywhere. Like, I thought I was being healthier by vaping because I wasn't smoking. But then I immediately... I have not had, knock on wood, I have not found many side effects from smoking yet. It probably will come at a later age though. But with vaping, I felt them immediately.
Wow.
Because I would wake up in the morning so short of breath because you can do it like there's no stopping you.
Yeah, you just go hard.
You're in the fucking tattoo parlour. You can anywhere. You can just vape anywhere. Man,
I greened out when I had a vape, like a nicotine one.
Oh yeah, that's
so I didn't know how strong it was. So I was just like, and my mate was like, calm down. And I was like, nah, it should be right. It's only a vape. And I'm like, wow, it just hit me. And I reckon about 20 minutes it took to come good.
They're so addictive too.
It was like I had 50 ciggies at once.
They're so addictive.
Man, stuff like that.
But cigarettes are definitely the worst one. I've been able to, I've never been worried about ever finding drugs or anything. But cigarettes, I visibly get angry when I don't have smokes.
Really?
Yeah, I just get massive withdrawals straight away because I've been doing it for so long now.
Wow.
And working in kitchens and stuff, like high stress environments, it's always been cold. Like you go out and you quickly punch 3 cigarettes and then you run in, and it's just always been in my life.
Yeah.
So it's always been a massive stress reliever.
Yeah. Okay.
I just haven't found the appropriate way to kick it yet. I'm at the point where I do want to quit smoking. I just don't know how to.
What about like the nicotine gum?
I could try it again. I did try nicotine gum like 8 years ago or 6 years ago, and it made me feel a bit ill.
What about getting hypnotized?
Apparently that works.
Yeah, I've known a couple people that
I think you got to want it to work for it to work, but apparently it does work.
Or you could just go on like Ibogaine stuff.
I don't know if they prescribe it here.
No, you have to go to Mexico.
But apparently that's like the most effective thing to treat PTSD, heroin addiction, alcoholism.
Yeah.
It's like a really strong hallucinogen, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like a 7-day.
It's like a ayahuasca, it's like almost like a ceremony.
But I think it's like way stronger.
But yeah, I've heard that Ibogaine, the governor of, I don't know if you call him a governor, whoever runs Texas is currently trying to legalize it.
Oh yeah.
Because apparently it's the most effective thing with treating veterans.
I think it's like what I heard about it. It kind of like brings you to the edge of death, and then brings you back again, and you kind of like have this epiphany. Yeah,
it really fucking makes you think of why you have this addiction. Like, so much with mushrooms. People have done similar things on mushrooms, and even MDMA. Like there's, so I don't know with that. Obviously, probably not with cigarettes, but with like PTSD and like mass trauma. In America and stuff, they'll treat you with MDMA.
Yeah,
they'll
rewires you, doesn't it?
Sit you in a room with a trained professional who knows how to access parts of your brain, and I don't know, whoever dabbled in MDMA, you get real chatty on it. So I imagine it would work.
I think there's places in Melbourne that are starting to do it like that, like in prescribed environments.
Well, marijuana's already pretty much legal here. It's so easy to get medical marijuana. It's basically recreationally available here. Like I did mine over the phone, my prescription. I just got it for a laugh. I don't even smoke marijuana.
Yeah, right.
I just did it because I thought it was such a novelty that you can just get it shipped to your house.
Yeah, right.
It's it's expensive, but it's way too strong.
Yeah, because it's proper stuff, I guess, isn't
it?
So
fucking strong. It's insane. It's not... I've never really liked... I'll smoke a joint every now and then. If someone's smoking, I'll have a puff or two, but... It just makes me so anxiety-ridden.
Depends on the strain, I guess, doesn't it? If you have different ones, like it can do different things.
Depends how you smoke it as well. Like if I smoked a bong, I'd fucking be done for 6 hours. I just go, do you smoke? Do you know you're full straight
edge,
straighty 180 now?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You wake up. Do you know what? Waking up with no hangovers is fucking excellent.
It's cool.
You don't realise how shit hangovers are until you don't wake up with hangovers.
And when you get older, they last way longer. I'm 40, so they last a while.
Proper one very recently.
Yeah, right.
Like where I was like, oh no.
Really?
This is bad. Like 3-4 days was not normal. Just didn't function. That's when I was like, now I'm trying to only drink on the podcast when a guest wants to drink.
Okay. That's cool.
Alcohol, surprisingly, is the worst one.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's the worst one. Whoever I love alcohol. It's my favorite way to fuck my life up.
Yeah. It's fun, but the health, and it softs you up in the end.
Even just the decisions you make. Yeah. Like, if you're just out one night doing cocaine, you're probably not going to make as many bad decisions as drinking 27 beers.
Yeah. Well,
it depends who you are as a person, but in my personal experiences, alcohol makes you way more of a dickhead than most things.
Yeah, that's when all the bad stuff happens.
Always.
Like the fights and all that stuff.
All the fights, all of the stupid messages to people, just all the stupid shit. You wake up in the morning like, oh, fuck.
Or you've been online shopping.
Oh, no.
Oh, you just buy some weird thing from Ukraine. I bought some cucumber seeds once that are like these Ukrainian cucumber seeds. I don't know why I bought them.
Did you plant them?
Yeah, they didn't grow. I got ripped off.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. But it's nice not having, like you say, no hangover, and I wake up at the same time every day with no alarm or anything like that, and you don't waste any time, just kind of get on with stuff.
Bank account is loving it.
Yeah, I never really noticed that, though, that much. But I think it's more like they don't waste any time doing stupid shit.
And the other thing is hangovers do waste a lot of time.
They do. Yeah, a whole day written off, sometimes too.
Lounging around lounging around at home hungover is so different to choosing to lounge around and just have a relaxing day. When you're hungover, you're not relaxing, you're just not doing anything.
Yeah, true. I think I noticed it more at the tattoo conventions because they're pretty...
They can get loose. Very
loose. And you do it all weekend, you go out, you tattoo the first day till late, go out the whole night, sometimes you won't sleep. come in the next day, tattoo all day, and repeat for like 3 days straight. And it's just, by the end, you're just a shell of a person. Like,
it's like a music festival.
Oh, man. It's worse because you got to actually do something. You got to tattoo someone as well on top of that.
And you want to perform well because you're around all your peers and there's wards involved. And I imagine you clean up at conventions. No?
Never do that stuff, no.
Really?
I put the last convention I did, I got my client Kai, who's got the bodysuit. I flew him over to show it off there. That's the only one I've put into an award.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't partake in that stuff. You get some people that tattoo just for that reason.
It could be a bit clicky, I imagine, too, those things.
But it's like these poor clients that have sat there for 3 days straight on their whole front getting tattooed just to put it in the show.
Them. Yeah.
And they're up there like nearly passing out, like bleeding all over the place. These poor guys. I've seen some shockers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I won't keep you too long. I do have someone else rocking up very soon.
Cool.
I got Andrew Carpenter, the most feared lawyer by pedophiles in Australia.
Really?
Yeah. I've done one with him before. His sole mission is to just lock up pedophiles.
Wow. Is he in Adelaide?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's very well known Australia-wide. I've done one with him before, but he fucking goes after him.
Dude, that's crazy. I'll have to watch that one for sure.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Wow.
Good dude.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure, mate.
You're a legend. It's really nice to meet you.
You too, mate.
You can catch Stu on Instagram at Stu Pagdin, STUPAGDIN.
Tattooer.
Tattooer on Instagram. I don't imagine you have much time this year, but if you want to tattoo, go through the appropriate hoops and loops and you'll get one.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Cheers, bro.
Legend.